Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Gotta do this to this to this. My nose is itchy, and that's okay. What's that? My nose is itching a ton. I blame my doggo. The doggo's been a little bit of an ass lately. Good old jerk doggo. Being the jerk that he is. Let's get this set up. Listen, I may have started the stream without being 100% ready, but that's okay. Loading game. Hello, Lily. How's it going? There we go. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. Besides my doggo making me sneeze. Doing pretty good. We are back with good old this game, 428. So, we are on to the next set of stories. Gonna quickly break it down in a few short sentences of where we're at. Well, actually, I'll just kind of go through each as we go to the story, because I really didn't do much last time, and that's okay. So we'll go from there. But we're gonna start with Tama. Has been sore on his shoulders. That's it. I gotcha. We're gonna start with Tama for the sales demo preparations. In 1 hour, the Burning Hammer sales demo will begin. Chips! Chips! Cheery is laying out the assortment of snacks that we'll have on hand. Hey, Tama, you hungry? Why, yes I am. I mean, that should be pretty obvious at this point. All I've had since putting on the stupid mascot costume is some Burning Hammer and a bunch of iced tea. Oh, the fluffy thing that Tama's looking at! Look at that fluffy blue thing. I really want it. I don't know what it is, but I want it. Hey now, Cheery shoots back. What's with the attitude? Cheery, you do remember that you ate my lunch, right? The singer said it was best before noon. You just made that up. Heh, yeah. Cheery chortles merrily and chugs some more iced tea. What up, Caitlin? What up, Cassie? Okay, folks. Mr. Yanagishida calls out as he slips into the room. Lunch break's over. Back to work. I don't feel like I've had much of a break. If anything, I'm even more mentally exhausted than I was before. Why is the chicken asleep in a hammock? Why is the chicken asleep in a hammock? Suddenly, the chicken comes alive, and starts killing everybody. I don't know. There's a box full of Anagochi toys in the storeroom on the 3rd floor. Am I bringing them down? Anagotochi, I ask. What's that? The name makes it sound like some sort of product knockoff. Mr. Yanagishita's face widens in surprise. You've never heard of them? Oh, you know, Anagachi. Like Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi? It's a digital pet game where you raise an eel that lives in Tokyo Bay. And Anagachi, a portable electronic game in which you raise a conjure eel, Anako, feeding it daily and clearing away feces. Depending how you raise your eel, it can wind up developing into various forms, from normal eel to ultimate eel sushi. You can also use the infrared communication feature to bring over friends for your eel from another nearby Anagachi device. This is also a sister product, Trout Watch. By connecting the two, you can view a special event where the eel and trout characters go to a pub together. So the eel and the trout just... Alright, chat. Dating myself again. How do you guys know about Tamagotchi? Do you guys know about Tamagotchi? You know fucking things that were Tamagotchi? No? You guys don't know what Tamagotchi is. Interesting. Interesting. So I got a red pill here. Alright. Let me break it down what Tamagotchi is. So Tamagotchi is, think of it as the Pokemon, like for Let's Go Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee, there's like the little Pokeball, right, where you can like level up your Pokemon and like raise it up and such. Tamagotchi was a little like keychain that you would have where you'd have a pet on the screen, and then with that pet you can feed the pet various things to make it get grow. You can you know, clean up its poop, you can play mini games with it, so on and so forth. Typically it needed constant attention, and depending on, usually from what I remember, Tamagotchi, the days were real life days. So like 24 hours would be 24 hours in Tamagotchi land, and you could evolve it as time went on depending on how many days. But usually it was super easy to accidentally get your Tamagotchi killed or just have it die. So yeah, that was a thing. That is a thing, really. So honestly though, they got super annoying because you could never really turn them off. So like your Tamagotchi, at least the ones that I had when I was little, would like start crying in the middle of the night and such, and like ask for food. I'm like, it's 3 in the morning, Tamagotchi, you're gonna die now, I don't care. Like that's pretty much what it was. Never heard of it, I say. Huh, well, I guess maybe a lot of people in Japan haven't heard of it yet, but it's all the rage right now with the youngsters over in NYC. NYC? Oh, he must mean New York City. It's popular in New York, really? Anyway, I did some quick chicken, that's what I learned. So last month I bought a whole bunch of them. And once again, you were swindled. Yep. Ouch. Oh, and once again, you were swindled. Yep. Ouch, Cherry, dropping the hard truth. Mr. Yanagashita lets out a pathetic whimper. That's a face. That is a face. I got you, Lily. I got you. That's a face that exists. The more I look at his hair, the more confused I get. I don't want to see this anymore. No! Just like that, his confidence evaporates. He starts muttering to himself. I thought it sounded a little fishy, really. I mean, think about it. Why would kids in New York be interested in raising eels from Tokyo Bay, he muses. And what appeal would an eel character even have anyway? None, that's what... What up, Kazoo? How's it going? None, that's what I should have known that. I did know it. I think this guy's losing it. Then why'd you buy them? This farce is getting tiresome. Anyway, Yanagashita continues, it was gonna cost way too much to keep them in storage, so I was just gonna let the recycling guy take them. He hangs his head in shame. In a matter of moments, is borderline catatonic, sorry. The type of eel that gives Yanagashi its name. Anago can be loosely translated as the creature that lives in a hole. Mr. Yanagashita is probably wishing he could crawl into a hole about right now. It's really about it. I'm so proud of it. It was about the DLC, I think, for Smash. I kind of just started streaming, I think, right as I saw it, so I can check it out afterwards. I'm glad you're proud of it. I'm glad you're proud of it. I'm still, though, of the mindset that I don't really care too much about who the DLC character is. I know they'll announce it tomorrow. People will yell. People will argue. I'll get out my coffee and just quietly watch as people start trying to attack each other. It's whatever. Cheery, on the other hand, flashes a big bright grin. Still, you know, eel's pretty delicious. Oh, Cheery! Yanagashita blurts. Thank you! He claps her hands in gratitude. I wasn't exactly complimenting you there, boss. It's the same thing. There's a little bit of me in each of my products. Anagachi and I are one of the same. A brief Anagachi gameplay clip. The trick is to feed your eel proper food and give it proper exercise. Another important strategy tip is to make sure to obtain the sharp chef's knife when you visit Kapabashi Kitchen Town partway through the game. Grub or squid? So we give it a worm. Wait, did we just... Oh my gosh, we just cooked the eel into sushi! Well, that's not how Tamagotchi worked. Which is to say, eels and I are one of the same. Go on, then. Say something nice about eels. Cheery chimes right in without missing a beat. Eels are awesome. When it comes to eel sushi, 100 pieces barely whets my appetite. You know, these two make quite a pair. That really means a lot to me, Cheery. Thank you, thank you. I don't understand what any of this is about, but if it helps mend Mr. Yanagashita's wounded spirits, I guess I can't complain. I leave them to their devices and head for the storeroom. Also, Kazoo, do you know what Tamagotchi is? I'm a cat! The storeroom door opens with a rough grating sound. Okay, now where's the light switch? I fumble around in the dark, feeling for the switch box. My costume paws mute the sensations in my hands enough that even finding it, that is difficult. I bat at the wall willy-nilly until eventually the lights come on. Apparently I found the switch, even if I didn't feel it. Whoa, what the heck is this? I seem to be a little bit out of place. Just a little bit. Hey, what up, Yoshimelon? How's it going? Japanese sitcoms be like, true. Piece of the dirt, dang. Of course, see, Kazoo, no one else knows what Tamagotchi are, and it's surprising to me. Also, we're a cat in a storeroom. The storeroom is practically overflowing with shoddy goods. A painting that looks like a child's scribblings, an oddly shaped hat bearing the words "Grow 2 inches guaranteed," a cheap-looking pendant with a tag that says it's set with a miracle stone. Miracle stone. These stones are nothing more than simple glass beads that were purchased at 5,000 yen a piece. The seller claimed normally they sell for 10,000 a pop, but if you buy 100 of them, I'll give you half off, at which the buyer declared it really is a miracle before joyfully agreeing to the purchase. The fact that somebody like Yanagashita actually exists to buy these things is also kind of a miracle. True. Hey, what up, Don? How's it going? Dead body inside cat? Nope, it's a really hot girl inside the cat body, actually. It's like this is the knockoff boneyard when cheap products go to die. They break away from the pathetic herd, knowing their time has come, and end up in this graveyard of a storeroom. By the way, Kazoo, I got a mic. Oh gosh, hold on. I got a moving mic. I got a hanging mic. Now an arm. We good. I've upped my game. Be right back. No worries, Vibrant. How's it going? Sorry, I saw both. I thought it was Wizboo suddenly here. So yeah, we going up. Dawn, I hope things get better. An arm, we did! I have concussion. That's good. You know? Yeah, no, this was like 20 bucks. So it wasn't that expensive. Let's see. Anagachi. I quickly spy the cardboard box I'm looking for. Then I catch sight of a dark silhouette out of the corner of my eye. What up, Justin? Eek! I yelp. Oh, it's a cockroach. It's one of them. Black, flat, quick, long antenna, often spotted in kitchens. Sometimes, somehow, their legs wind up in restaurant food. Ew! The size, the speed, the dark shape. It couldn't be anything else. It peers back at me from the shadow of an Anagachi box, the faint light catching the luster of its carapace. It looks ready to leap out at me at any moment. I need to act fast. I challenge it to a single combat! Single combat. We shall win cat against cockroach. It flutters aloft. It's getting for me, all right. Bracing myself, I step forward to confront it, which paradoxically helps calm my nerves. I get the sneaking suspicion that this isn't the first time I've done battle with one of these things. It's like I've trained myself to protect someone who's even more scared of them than I am. As I mull that over, the thing hovering in the air presses its attack against me. Now's my chance. I snatch up a nearby piece of cardboard and swat at the creature. Hard. It sails out the window in a graceful arc, then flitters away in the world beyond. Phew! At least we parted on mutually acceptable terms. I didn't have to squash it or blast it with pesticide. Hefting the box labeled Anagachi, I scurry away from the graveyard of schluck merchandise. Well, at least we beat it in one-on-one combat. That's good, I guess. I like how we just had war with a cockroach. The most true. Oh, they're still making it bad. Phew, I made it. When I get back to the break room, Mr. Yanagashita is still clutching Chiri's hands. And it was super tasty when you salt broil it too. Thank you. But tempura style is probably the best. Thank you. Well, Mr. Yanagashita's spirits have certainly turned around. Oh, there are probably other people around. Okay, got it. I hold out the big cardboard box. Excellent, thank you. You girls are the greatest, Yanagashita shouts. His voice resounds with gratitude. Hey, that's it! I just got an amazing idea! This is the happiest crybaby I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, literally, this guy is the pinnacle of anime characters. This guy is literally a real-life anime character. I'm so surprised that this exists. Like, This is great. Why don't the three of us start our own company? I'll pass. Cheery and I respond in unison. I like how Tama's just like, I can't really do the X, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to do an X. Cheery's like, no, X, no, we can't do this. Nice, Caitlin. Man, you two shut that one down quick. Oh well, for today, let's just focus on selling Burning Hammer. By the way, I ask, where is the Burning Hammer? There wasn't any in the storeroom, but I don't see any here either. Oh, that's right. It's up back in the loading dock. We should probably go bring it in. Oh, and bring the Anagachis with you, too. The recycling guy's gonna be showing up soon. Come on, let's go! Cheery and I follow Mr. Yanagashita out to the loading dock. So, we did see that Tama gets out of her costume this hour, so we'll see what happens there. But the loading dock, it turns out, is empty. Uh-oh. There's no sign of Burning Hammer anywhere. It's gone. It's gone, Mr. Yanagashita murmurs. Then his voice rises to a shout. It's gone! Oh god, the Burning Hammer, it's all gone! Flying into a panic, he searches frantically from one end of the dock to the other, leaping into the air, even peering down into the cracks. But no matter where he looks, there's nothing for him to find. It was right here a little while ago! Like, right here! Right here! Oh my gosh, I literally told... I'm being told that food's done. I was like, I already ate. Uh-oh. I hear the sound of an engine revving outside. Uh-oh. Mr. Yanagashita cries out in alarm. We can see a truck starting to pull away. Its bed is piled high with cardboard boxes and other assorted trash. Hey, boss, is that... Yes. Yeah, there it is. Mr. Yanagashita begins racing after the truck. My burning hammer! His voice cracks as he cries out, Give that back! Give it back! But he's no match for a speeding truck, and the boxes of burning hammer vanish before his eyes. Burning hammer! Oh, sorry. Come back! Oh, wait, one more. Come back. Okay, cool. Whew. You must really miss that burning hammer. Well, Yanagashita's wailing echoes from the surrounding buildings. It's like something out of a movie. What the hell? What the hell? What's up with that truck? Tama, who the heck was that? Hey, don't look at me, I reply. Huh, with all those piles of stuff, it looked like the recycling guy. As soon as he says, huh, with all those piles of stuff, it looked like just the recycling guy. As soon as he says it, revelation draws on his face. The recycling guy, he mutters. I can see the color draining from his face. The words recycling guy give me an idea. If it was him, maybe he thought he was picking up the Anamagachis by mistake. We have to find it! We have to find that truck! The man is absolutely beside himself. Cheery! Tama, you two split up and try to track it down! Wait, why do we have to look for it? Again, Cheery and I speak in chorus. If there's no sales demo, there's no money to pay you, and then all the work you've done will be now for nothing! Right, when he puts it that way, I guess there isn't much of a choice. Somehow or another, we'll have to find that truck. It can't have gotten far, he continues. Now go hunt for it like your life depended on it! Cheery and I look at each other and sigh. How do you want us to do this, she asks. Want to search together, or should we split up? Yeah, we should split up. Cheery and I go our separate ways, searching for a truck full of junk. Well, that's gonna be interesting. I make my way to Center Guy. I'm so focused on searching all over as I walk, I lose track of where I was going, and I wind up bumping right into a man who's hurrying along with his daughter. Taro and Hana Toyama. They came to Center Guy to eat lunch. Before that, they were at Heaven Publishing in Shibuya Wanchome. Wanchome? While wandering around distractedly looking for somewhere cheap and tasty, Mr. Toyama bumped right into Tama. So Toyama is the guy who tried to hang himself. Interesting. Oh, pardon me. I'll back into my feet and go to bow to the man in apology. Oh! You guys are really dumb. He bows at the same time and we managed to bonk our heads together. Wait, how did he hurt his head? It can't be that hard. Jeez. Sorry. The girl just does not care. As her dad drops to his knees, clutching his head, the girl begins to wander off. Hey, Hana, wait! The man lurches to his feet and rushes after the girl. She seems like an odd kid, only 10 or so, but strangely cold and distant for her age. Interesting. Hey, Ayakamiki! Look at how cute he is. Nursing my own sore head, I make it to the way to Shibuya Station, but there's no sign of the truck. I'll probably never find it just by wandering around randomly. It's already 12:35. G-Shock! Wait, G-Shock existed back in 2008? I think this came out in 2008, technically. Yo, I love G-Shock watches. They're pretty cool. The sales demo starts in 25 minutes. I have serious doubts I'll be able to find the truck by then. What should I do? Keep out. So I am going in the right direction. Interesting. So I am actually progressing well with Tama. Which is weird, because I feel like I shouldn't be. I've also already had 2 choices. It's also already 12:35. Alright, who are we gonna go as next? We got Osawa, Minorikawa, Kano, and Achi. First name I see in chat, I'll go with them. That's interesting. I wonder what happens if you travel together, too. Kano? Alright, Kano it is. Maintaining pursuit. Kano has been watching Syndicate members hand off the attaché case for an hour and a half. Dang. He still had no idea where this relay might be headed. The man he was tailing now was about 10 meters away, close enough that Kano could close the distance and apprehend him at the moment's notice. But his orders remain the same: follow and observe. Dang, they keep passing the case. He watches the case was handed off once more. By now, the shock of seeing it pass to yet another accomplice had worn off. It's already been 90 minutes, huh? Oh, it was Sasayama. At some point, he crept up on Kano from behind. Mr. Anime Girl Dude himself. They don't seem like they're trying to get away at all, Kano said. They're just walking. What could they be up to? Sasayama shrugged. Yeah, it is weird. Kano recalled Dictum 89. I don't know what that is. Dictum 89. The more irrelevant something seems to be, the more relevant it's bound to be. If Toteno's wisdom held true, the Syndicate must have some reason for what it was doing. Were they just trying to throw the investigators off their scent? No, that couldn't be it. They were wandering in circles, staying right in the same area. They were just running up the clock. What if that's exactly what they were after? Buying time. Kano felt a sudden conviction that he was on the right track. If they needed more time to make sure they got their hands on the ransom payment... Wait, hold on. Could it be that? The real case had already been switched out? The ransom money wasn't even in the case anymore. The real case could have already been switched out, especially when we caught eye of the guy who was talking loudly on the phone. I'm gonna say the ransom money, though, because I think that's a bad ending. Could it be that the ransom money wasn't even in the case anymore? I've got it! Sasayama perked up. You got what? Each time these crooks hand off the case, they sneak out a bunch of 1,000,000 yen. They keep doing that, and eventually the case itself is empty. Of course! That's how they've been playing us! Kano and Sasayama exchange a look. How many people would need to make the switch for them to get all the money? Sasayama asked. 50 million yen divided by 1 million. That makes 5 people. Now, I'm no math major. But, I don't think that 50 divided by 1 is 5. These are police detectives, ladies and gentlemen. These are police detectives. That's it then. No, wait. 50 people. That many? That can't be the deal then, Sasayama said. Yes, not. They both sighed in unison. The man with the attaché case made his way back to Shibuya Station. The heck? Sasayama grumbled. He's right back where we started. Kano felt his frustration growing. It honestly looked like the syndicate was just randomly lugging the case around town. Near Shibuya Station, a girl approached the suspect. She was Japanese and entirely unlike any of the other criminal accomplices. She spoke to the man while showing him something on a notepad. He glanced at the pad but did not slow down. Within moments, he had left her behind. It looked like she just passed him a message. Well, that's sure fishy, Sasayama muttered. What, the girl? Asked Kano. Yeah, wanna go hit her up? Sasayama could only mean one thing, questioning her. Yeah, let's go see what she knows. She can't be involved with this, can she? I think she can't be. I don't think she's involved. She can't be involved with this, can she? Sasayama flashed him a skeptical look. Don't let your preconceptions get the better of you. Could get you killed. Preconceptions are fixed notions one has about something before the facts are known. Can be a hindrance to thinking freely. If you think about it too hard, you might fall victim to the preconception that preconceptions themselves are always bad. Ugh. I know that, but still, she doesn't come across as involved to me. Kano knew better than to judge people based on appearance, but he was still convinced the girl wasn't part of this gang. She just struck him as far too, well, inept, really. Alright, I'll go look into the girl, Sasayama said. Oh! That's Chiaki! That's Chiaki! That's the reporter girl who's like really, really bad at talking to people. You keep following the attaché case. Kano nodded and hurried after the man. The man's black garb made him stand out in the crowd at the intersection. It occurred to Kano that all the criminals who handed the attaché case had been wearing the same black clothing. That fact made the whole situation even weirder. Could they really be ignorant that they were being followed while they were all wearing the same eye-catching outfit? It was more like they were going out of their way to make sure the investigators spotted them. That still didn't provide any clues as to what they were after, though. The longer Kano kept tailing these guys, the less it all made sense. Was it really such a good idea to keep this up? Someone's life was in danger, and they were just letting the kidnappers carry out their plan, whatever it was. The very first page of the Dick Diary spelled things loud and clear on that front. Dick Dictum! What'd you miss? Dick Dictum. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, ever. We met Chiaki, technically. Look at Kano. Look at that face! Right now, the single most important thing was ensuring the hostage's safety. Dude, like, is looking suave. Like, look at him! That piercing stare. That piercing stare. What? So, here's something that like you might know from like really old movies and such. So your eyes, of course, have irises and so on and so forth, but you can usually see reflections in the eyes. Hence why when we're looking at Osawa, we were seeing the image of the virus through his eyeballs. But I think that's Tama in his eyeball. I think Tama's in his eye. I think I can see the cat costume. Listen, I'm not trying to look at his eyes because he's dreaming or anything. I'm just like, I'm trying to see. Definitely looks like something's in his eye, though. I feel weird doing this. feel really weird doing this. I'm looking into a eyes of somebody and it's just on a screen. I feel really uncomfortable now. Well then. This was a situation where Tateno would have stuck to his guns for sure. Kano thought back to that day, 3 years ago. A burglar had shut himself inside a financial office and doused the place in gasoline. Kano had just been put on police box duty and was ordered to the scene because his box was just down the street from the standoff. Police box duty, nobody is assigned to a detective post right after graduating from the police academy. Detective positions can be quite hard to come by. Candidates are selected for detective training only after accumulating enough experience working at the local police box, a very small type of neighborhood station manned by only a handful of officers. Interesting. Several officers have surrounded the building, keeping close tabs on the situation. The suspect was shouting nonsense to the entrance of the first floor. Things were getting heated. A crowd of alarmed onlookers had started to form as well. "Step aside," a voice said suddenly from amidst the throng. A middle-aged man in a rumpled business suit approached Kano as he hovered nervously at the edge of the scene. "I'm sorry, sir," Kano said. "You have to stay back for your own safety." He attempted to usher the man back into the crowd. A no-nonsense look crossed the newcomer's face. He spoke in a low voice. "I'm Detective Tateno from the Shibuya precinct. What's the situation?" "Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. Yes, of course." Kano stammered, then quickly explained. "He hasn't taken anyone hostage, but there are still people on the upper floors of the building." Giving only a slight nod, Tateno marched straight up to the building. The plastic container of gasoline the suspect had used was on the ground out front. Tateno picked it up and dumped the remaining contents out over his head. Kano was at a loss for words. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. "I've covered myself in gasoline too," Tateno called out from the entryway. The tension in the air ratcheted itself up several notches. "Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?" Kano heard the burglar shouting from inside. "If you're gonna do it, Tateno called out. "We can die together." He walked into the building. All Kano could do was watch things unfold through the plate glass window. Tateno was talking to the burglar, but Kano couldn't make out the words. The crook was clutching a lighter and his hand trembling. His expression was like that of a frightened child. Tateno slowly approached him and took firm hold of his shaking hand. The onlookers erupted in cheers and applause. That's a noble way to handle the situation. Real talk here. Usually the best way to it seems like a crazy thing to do, right? Douse yourself in gasoline and risk dying. But very few, depending on the crime, very few criminals actually want to kill people. If somebody has a gun and will, is shooting, already shooting, then there's no hope. You have to de-escalate that situation by any means necessary. But if they're just pointing the gun, they're scared. A lot of them are really just scared. They're scaring you heavily by, if you see bank robbery videos, you'll see that they point the gun at the cashier or anything, but usually they see them shaking a little bit, or they try to stay stoically, but you can still see a little bit of uneasiness, because at the end of the day, they really don't want to pull the trigger to kill somebody. Stealing from stores and everything, like shoplifting and whatnot, burglary, I know this from a friend who used to went to school for police work. I believe is a shorter sentence than, of course, killing somebody, honestly. So if they kill somebody right then from the get-go, they're in hot shit. If they steal something, it's seen as not that big of a deal compared to murder. So with this guy not even trying to kill anybody and he's just super scared, it makes sense why Tateno approached him and doused himself in gasoline to de-escalate. It was really noble, very, very noble. Tateno handed the now docile suspect over to the detectives, then wearily sat down against the planter out front. It was like something ripped straight out of police drama. "That was amazing," Kano breathed. "You have to deal with guys like that as quickly as you can. You let a situation like this even get a little out of hand, and you never know how things might go south on you." Tateno spoke quietly, almost as if he were talking to himself. "Well, too bad you're having a really good voice." As the police evacuated the rest of the building, Kano noticed that there were children and elderly people among them. If the perp had managed to set the fire, there was no way they would have escaped in time. But I mean, what if he'd actually set the place on fire? If someone's willing to risk their life, you're not going to convince them of anything unless you do the same. Kano still remembered the awe he felt of Toteno's matter-of-fact tone. Kano hadn't become a police officer out of any real sense of duty. He just thought it would make Rumi happy if he became a detective like her father. Besides, civil servants tend to stay afloat in the times of recession, and his time playing rugby meant he was in good physical shape for the job. He never really thought too much about protecting the citizenry or keeping the peace. But now here he was in the presence of a detective who literally risked his life in the line of duty without a second thought. A police officer never loses sight of what he's supposed to protect. Ever. Getting back to his feet, Toteno tugged off his gasoline-drenched coat and walked away. Kano wrote the words on his notebook he just purchased. Thus, the Dick Diary was born. Really big letters, man. Really big letters. They're simples. Katakana. Thinking back to the way Toteno had put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of strangers made Kano feel all the more raw about tailing these syndicate members. Letting the crooks just wander around wasn't going to bring Maria Osawa to safety. Of that, Kano was now certain. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. He uttered the fundamental dictum out loud. Well, you've lost sight of it completely, a voice said out of nowhere. What? Kano spun around. It was Shizuo. Oh. Rumi was with him. Sir, Kano stuttered. Weren't you supposed to be waiting at the cafe for... There was some lowlife there, so we left. Rumi's dad looked plenty mean under ordinary circumstances. Right now, he looked like a man possessed. Oh, I beg your pardon? I'm still on duty at the moment. I'm going back home, Shifu huffed. You're not marrying my daughter. Well, game over. We're not marrying Rumi. GG, everybody. GG. Game's over. He turned to walk away. No, please, just wait. I'm done waiting. Now I'm going home. Please don't do this. Just hear me out. I've heard all I need to hear from you. Rumi, we're leaving. Dad, please. Goodbye. Seizing his daughter by the hand, Shizuo stormed off without another word, dragging her behind. Shinya! She crawled out over her shoulder. Rumi! She was gone. Rumi was gone. Kano desperately wanted to go after her, but he hesitated in agony of indecision. I can't turn my back on my responsibilities. I'm a detective. My work has to be my first priority. Going after Rumi isn't what a good detective would do. Oh, Detective Toteno, what should I do? Toteno, Still the dictum echoed in his mind. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Is this another keep out? 6 months late. Huh? 6 months later. Kano made his way through a small corner of a vast field in the Kano countryside. Slowly and leisurely, he tilled the soil. He surprised himself with his own newfound enthusiasm for organic farming, learning more from Shuzo day after day. His father-in-law had taught him the ways of farming from the ground up, and while things had been rocky between them at first, their friendship was now growing strong. Pausing to wipe his brow, he smiled at the acreage around him. He looked forward to tending the crops he'd sown until harvest came around. If he'd stayed on as a detective, he might well never have known the joy he now found in his work. And this wasn't the only seed Kano had planted. By the time harvest season came around, the new life growing within his dear Rumi's belly would be ready to celebrate it with them. Wow, that's a weird way to explain that. Also, I'm pretty sure this is a bad ending. Yeah, bad end. So we have to delay them. We got married. Oh! I like how that's a bad ending. Guys, we got married! Yay! Oh shit, that's bad. Huh. So, oh, they talked about this guy being crazy in the cafe, so they left. So had they not left, oh gosh. Kano went after Rumi and Shizo, proving his devotion and earning her hand in marriage. Now he's a farmer in Nagano, and crime in Tokyo... Wow. Tokyo is someone else's problem. But hang on a second. Why weren't Rumi and Shizo waiting at the cafe like they were supposed to be? Well, there's no way for Kano to know about how one man's bit of curiosity at that cafe led to the strange twist of fate. So one guy got curious at the cafe? Interesting. So, we have a bad end for Kano, and we're stopped at Tama. We are currently, though, at 12:25. 12:35. Oh, there might be a little bit of a gap. We'll see. Okay, so we got Achi, Minorikawa, and Osawa left. So who do we be? Like how the bad ending is getting married. That's ridiculous. Alright, who's next? Achi, Minorikawa, or Sawa? If I had to take a guess, I'm saying that it's probably Minorikawa. If we're talking about a lousy oath, essentially, it's gotta be Minorikawa. Because Achi would be trying to flee the cafe. Let's go with Minorikawa. He's probably the one that goes to the cafe. Minorikawa stood on the sidewalk, weighing his options. Chiaki's phone call had thrown him for a loop. He'd expected her to be anxious about doing interviews, but wow, she was a real basket case. Still, that didn't change the fact that he had a schedule out of his own to keep. The surveillance camera story had to be his top priority. Chiaki would just have to find some way to fumble through things on her end. He headed on down Dogenzaka, scanning his surroundings as he went. There were cameras set up on streetlights all over the place. There were so many it was hard to believe he'd never noticed them before. One over there, over another, just over here. Electronic eyes peering down on passerby from high above. Where they were, tougher to spot. Just how were the people who came to Shibuya reacting to the situation? Hey, you there! Minoria called out a man riding by on his bicycle. Hey you, stop! The man brought his bike to sudden stop. This guy again? This was the guy by the train! Taisei Yasuda, proprietor of a knick-knack shop in Udagawachao. Roughly 30 minutes earlier, while he was wandering along the JR tracks picking up lost and abandoned items, Achi foisted off his trash onto him, and so he's in a bit of a foul mood. Since then, he's been going alongside on his bicycle, still picking up things on the roadside. There's a trunk on the back of his bike where he stores his finds. This guy again. Huh? What's the matter? He asked. Hi, the name's Minoru Minorikawa. I'm a freelance writer.
Okay.
I'm just doing interviews for a magazine, and I'd like to talk to you.
Magazine? Which one?
Four-star general gossip. Minorikawa did his best to sound proud.
Oh, well, I'm actually in a bit of a hurry here.
Minorikawa soldiered on. See that? He pointed at one of the nearby surveillance cameras.
What?
The man asked.
The blimp?
Well, yeah, there's a blimp, but there's also a camera. A massive blimp was indeed drifting slowly overhead. A blimp is a type of aircraft that floats up using the lift powered by an enormous envelope filled with lighter-than-air gas. This envelope, the balloon, is often used for corporate advertising. This particular blimp has been parading around the skies above Shibuya since last night. For Aya Kamiki. There's so much about Aya. Interesting. No, the camera! The camera watched them both in uncaring silence.
Oh, that. What about it?
What do you mean, what about it? Those cameras have been installed all throughout Shibuya. They're taking in anything and everything. Privacy be damned. A shocked pallor came to the man's face.
Oh, really?
He muttered uneasily to himself.
I guess I should be careful next time when we're picking stuff up.
Hey, what are you talking about? Minorikawa asked.
Oh, nothing. Just stuff.
Way to dodge the question entirely. Anyhow, I think there are some good things about the cameras. Oh, sorry.
Anyhow, I think there were some good things about the cameras too,
The man said hurriedly. Oh? Minorikawa asked. Such as?
Well, I mean, they must have helped catch some crooks, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Oh, I am?
The man looked shocked to have his own statement confirmed.
Are you
hiding something from me?
Huh? No, nothing in particular.
The man shook his head vehemently.
Nothing at all, really.
Well, whatever, Minorikawa said. In any case, even if the cameras are helping in arresting criminals, there are some places where people just don't want to be watched. Well, yeah, the bathroom, where you're eating, the bathroom, that back storage closet, the bathroom, your bedroom, the bathroom. that one store that, like, you know, you always have to go to, but you don't want other people to see, the bathroom. I'm just saying.
Whoa!
For instance, how would you like it if somebody set up a security camera inside your home?
What do you mean?
I mean, a burglar might try to get into your home. If you had a security camera, you could be alerted right away.
Isn't that kind of an extreme argument?
Nope, you're the one making the extreme argument here.
What?
The man stared, bewildered.
You're saying it's okay for folks to film people around town as much as they might like, but not to take a look inside people's houses.
Yeah. I guess I am.
The man mumbled. Minorikawa snorted.
You don't think too deeply about things, do you? He mocked.
The man huffed in indignation.
I don't see the problem, he said. I mean, it's a normal enough opinion. To want to bring down crime, but also protect privacy.
Well, yeah, so
if they're just going to set up cameras around town, I'm okay with that.
Minorikawa grinned inwardly.
You're being naive, he said. Way too naive.
Naive about what?
By now, the man was getting worked up.
Once you start letting people watch you some of the time, you'll eventually let them do it more and more. That's how the world works. A simple change in camera angles, all it takes to steal the last traces of your privacy away.
That's kind of funny coming from you. Doesn't 4-star general gossip get all of its scuttlebutt by invading the privacy of others? Since when are you people concerned with personal privacy?
Meaning what exactly?
Minorikawa asked.
You know damn well what I mean. Have you no shame?
I got nothing to be ashamed about,
Minorikawa exclaimed.
If some celebrity scandal breaks, I'll write it up in the form of a top-class social conscious expose.
Yeah.
That's the Minorikawa seal of quality.
The man rolled his eyes.
Please, as if anyone's ever heard of that.
You or everyday freelance reporter would say something about how security firms have no right to use cameras to disrupt personal privacy. But not me, oh no. Suddenly he's becoming Wario. Haha, but no. Oh, no. I need some more garlic. Waluigi's now gonna be here to play the game. Waluigi, please do all of the voices while I get rich by sitting on my fat ass.
Anyway.
I'm the only guy who would write a first-class piece on the subject. And you wanna know why?
The man's only response was a doubtful look.
Because privacy only exists for me to utterly demolish it.
I don't like the fact how he's pointing at us. Yo! See? Look it. Wow. This is actually kind of... Wow. Our hands are pretty much exactly the same. Are we not sure that this is actually my hand that's in there? Yo, this is actually kind of scary how close our hands look. Am I Minorikawa in disguise? Possibly Minorikawa in disguise. Minorikawa finished with a prideful grin.
That's nothing but journalistic arrogance,
The man railed.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'd rather have security cameras any day, if the alternative is some weird gossip piece.
This time Minorikawa didn't have a handy retort. An awkward silence descended over the pair.
Right, I see.
Minorikawa muttered to himself as he busily scribbled in his notepad. The man was visibly taken aback.
Thank you for your cooperation, Minorikawa said at last. You gave me some good stuff.
He held up a hand to forestall any angry retort. Said he was lurking. It's all good, Don. What up, Spring? I thought that was My Hero Soccer Guy in the thumbnail. My Hero Soccer Guy. From My Hero Academia, I take it? Who's Soccer Guy? What up, honey? How's it going?
I realize I probably got you a bit riled up. You'll have to forgive me.
What? The man peered up at Minorikawa in disbelief.
This is just my interview style. Sorry, I know it's a little unorthodox.
Buddy, you're a weirdo. You know that?
The man said.
Yeah, I hear that a lot,
Minorikawa laughed.
So can I go now?
Sure, I'll quote you as passerby in my article.
Sure. Whatever.
The man muttered. Bye, Punny. Take it easy. No, I call Sakuri My Hero Soccer Guy. I don't know who that is. Spring, you have to show me who this is, because maybe. But that's Kano, who's in the thumbnail. Minorikawa now had some material for a surveillance camera piece. He wanted to organize what he managed to put together so far. He decided to head toward his next interview location, keeping an eye out for a cafe where he can stop to work on his copy. The creator smash. Sakurai. Okay, gotcha. My Hero Soccer. Oh. Oh, see? The 1A. Makes everything. He used the map included in the project proposal to guide him. It was hard to read the words and make out the details, but it looked like the Nokane building where the Burning Hammer demo was being held was just down Center Guy. There was no indication of which floor the event would be held on, however. So Minorikawa is the guy who's going to be causing Kano's bad end. That made him a little anxious, but he'd probably be able to find someone to point him in the right direction once he got to the building. He spotted a cafe up ahead.
Coffee, please,
He shouted as he strode inside. He slumped down in an open chair. Hopefully he'd be able to hole up in here until 1 o'clock working on his article. If he couldn't have it done by then, finishing the whole issue by the end of the day would be a tall order. He pulled a cigarette from his overcoat as he waited for his computer to boot up. Minorikawa doesn't look like a guy who would smoke, I would say. What up, Siren? How's it going? Gosh, so I know so many people who smoke cigarettes, and it's... I wish they made better life choices, but, you know, everyone does what they do. I can't stop them. It doesn't bother me too much because, like, I can't smell it or anything. I also have a little bit of a problem with vape, I will say. But that's because usually when I was around people who vaped, they would just go and just, like, blow it in my face, which didn't feel good. So I kind of have, like, bad spots for both of them, but, you know, people do what they do. Having a smoke was Minorikawa's little trigger for going into writing mode. The state of being in a mood to write some text. As Minorikawa goes about his job, he switches between writing mode, interview mode, food mode, and sleep mode. When busy, he'll sometimes go into writing mode and food mode at the same time, sometimes even straying into sleep mode in the midst of food mode. When he's even busier, he'll eat and write mid-interview while nodding off. This is known as ultimate mode. So how do you okay, so what do you think about security cameras? How good are security cameras? Okay, just no, come back. Hold on, come back. Come. Security cameras. What the fuck do you think about them? I think that's pretty much what it is. To be in food mode while sleep mode? What? Actual talent? True. Minorikawa is in ultimate mode all the time. Me suckers. He stuck the cigarette in his mouth and lit it up. That's a fancy lighter. That's good. That's good lighter. With the first heavy draw of smoke, he felt his mind focus. The rough idea for his article came to his head nearly fully formed. All he needed to do now was get it all written down. Finally, his laptop finished booting up.
Took you long enough, pal,
He muttered to the computer. His hands leapt to the keyboard like a predator pouncing on its prey. In a matter of moments, he had to hit his stride. His fingers clicked away. One by one, lines of text filled up his screen. Gitanes? What the heck is that? Oh, it's his smokes. A waitress stepped up behind him. Excuse me, sir. But Minorikawa was in writing mode. He didn't even hear her. Sir? Sir, I beg your pardon. Again, Minorikawa was deaf to the waitress's attempts to get his attention. Sir, excuse me! The waitress smacked the table.
Quiet!
Minorikawa snapped. He slammed the table right back.
Don't interrupt me while I'm working! Not if you know what's good for you!
The waitress didn't so much as flinch. She leaned in aggressively, getting right into Minorikawa's face. Waitress Kumi Omiya, employee at Kolabo Cafe. While appearing cute and demure at first glance, she's quite strong-willed and frightening when angry. She works nights at a place called the Scolding Pub, where customers rent private rooms in which they are scolded at length by attractive girls. One middle-aged businessman once told her, "Your face looks simply marvelous when you're angry." Are people into that? Are people into just being yelled at? They curse you out for 30 minutes. But you're now slightly more aroused. Sir, I hate to bother you, but I have to ask you to please refrain from smoking. Minorikawa blinked. Huh? This is a non-smoking establishment, sir.
No smoking,
Minorikawa asked. The cigarette bobbed in his mouth as he spoke. The waitress pointed sharply to the side of the wall. GG. The words no smoking were spelled out clear as day. We ask that patrons please not smoke so that other customers can fully enjoy the aroma of their coffee. The waitress drew herself up in arrogant triumph. A woman sitting at the next table next made a face as she tried to fan the smoke away with her hands. Customers all around the shop were glaring at him.
You guys don't know the first thing about the aroma of coffee, Minorikawa scoffed. The scent of coffee only truly comes to life amidst the choking stench of tobacco smoke. The waitress's only response was to jab her finger again. But this time she didn't point at the sign, she pointed to the door. Sir, if you're going to smoke, please take it outside. Well, dang. Good GG. Some time later, sitting inside the cafe Lautrec, Minorikawa lit up his third cigarette. So Lautrec is where Rumi and Shizo are. This is where we get the bad ending of Kano getting married, which is still weird to say out loud. At last, a safe refuge. It had taken him quite some time to find a place that allowed smoking after he got kicked out of the first cafe. In recent years, many cafes and restaurants have phased out the concept of a smoking section in favor of prohibiting smoking across the board. This makes a place like Lautrec especially important to smokers. There are large air vents in the ceiling to help keep the interior more agreeable for those who do not smoke. Now he is in a rush to make up for lost time. His fingers flew over the keyboard at lightning speed. The more he wrote, the harder he focused. At this rate, he'd have the story wrapped up in no time.
Today, you hear me?
A voice intruded suddenly on his awareness. One of the other customers was shouting.
You're breaking up with that fellow today.
Norikawa's fingers drifted to a halt. He looked around to see where the voice had come from. That's Shizo. An older man, red in the face, was shouting at the young woman who sat across from him. Please, Dad, the woman pleaded. Stop. You're making a scene. Ah, father and daughter, then. It was rare nowadays to see a father behave so imperviously toward his own daughter. Just how sheltered had he been trying to keep her. Norikawa could see her face from where he was sitting, but his interest was piqued. She moved to another seat where he could take a look. Nori reminded himself that he needed to finish his article, so this is the bad ending. Should he move to another seat where he could take a look? Gathering up his laptop, Norikawa switched to a different table.
I don't care if I'm making a scene, the older man was saying. I'm not leaving until I see you cut ties with that boy, do you understand?
I understand that you're never happy unless you get your way. You're acting like a spoiled child.
Don't you talk back to me! You don't understand your own situation. You're letting your emotions cloud your judgment without putting any thought into your future.
No, Dad, you're the one who doesn't understand. Why am I having an argument with myself in two different voices while reading a game? I feel like I'm having my own identity crisis here. Am I this person? Am I that person? Am I talking to myself about my parents? Am I talking about my parents to myself? I don't even know anymore, man. Oh. The voices just... The father-daughter argument was getting more and more heated. Dad was clearly furious. Norikawa shifted closer, curious to see what might happen next. Then he saw the daughter's face and gasped out loud. Oh, hey, I know you! Wait, you're on TV, right? The father scowled up at him.
You must be mistaken, he said gruffly.
No, I'm sure of it,
Minorikawa said.
God, what am I thinking of?
The young woman seemed disconnected by his enthusiasm. Who was she? He called out to a waitress who was passing by.
Hey, miss, do you know this gal? She's an actress, right? It's right on the tip of my tongue.
The witness ignored him, but Norikawa was undeterred.
I know this. Weren't you in one of those TV dramas or something?
Norikawa was probably thinking of a series starring Masami Nagahama, possibly Operation Cold-Coats, The Last Frenchman, Touched by a Tuna, or Sailor Moon Pies. Sailor Moon Pies. Sailor Moon Pies, everybody. All of which received high viewer ratings and are fondly remembered in the public consciousness.
Right, we're leaving,
The father grumbled. He rose from his seat, radiating aggravation. Huh? The young woman said, but... Not waiting to hear her objection, he grabbed her by the hand and stormed out of the cafe. What up, Queen Cheese? How's it going?
Hey, hold on!
Minorikawa squalled. His plea fell on deaf ears. All he could do was watch them go, then shuffle back to his seat in disappointment. It's American Pie. You get Sailor Moon Pies? True, Dawn, true.
Damn it, what was her name? I should have asked for her autograph.
Mumbling under his breath, Minorikawa went back to typing. Interesting. Oh, that was just a thing. Is that a bomb? What's that? A strange beeping sound broke Minorikawa out of his writing reverie. Upon looking up in confusion, he found his attention drawn to a young woman at another table. And then one of these, and one of these. Oh, and this, and this, and this, and this, and that too. She finished with a broad grin. Cheery? Cheery, we're supposed to... Cheery, you fucking bitch. Get your ass to find that burning hammer. I swear. I swear. I swear. I swear, Cheery. She's ignoring finding burning hammer and she's just eating at a cafe. Let me just repeat your order back to you. 1 Japanese-style beef patty, 1 spicy fish roll with spaghetti, 1 chicken casserole, 1 French onion soup, 1 fruit parfait, 1 chocolate parfait, and 1 deluxe chocolate parfait. Will that be all? The waitress actually awaited confirmation. Waitress is Ryoko Kakinuma, a second-year student at Midoriyama Academy's law school. She was hassled by a pair of hustlers on her way to work and showed up 5 minutes late for her shift. The manager told her that those 5 minutes were coming out of her pay, so she's a bit irritated right now. Oh! She's the girl that Achi saved. That's pretty cool. You forgot the large caramel shake. The customer was a full-figured young woman and coursed at a nearby table. Oh, my apologies. Waitress quickly jotted down the addition to the order. That'll do for now, the young woman said. For now? Yikes. She's actually planning on ordering more than that? More after that? Hold on, let me just... Alright, there we go. Marveling at this display of appetite, Midorikawa went back to typing. She's getting food for everyone? Nope, she's just eating herself. Nothing? Now what? He heard the strange beeping sound again, suddenly different than the first time. And this time it was closer. Seriously, what the heck is that? I need to get to the bottom of this or I'll never be able to concentrate. Well, never mind, I need to focus on finishing this article. Let's focus. Well, never mind, I need to focus on finishing this article. Norikawa immersed himself in his writing again. Before long, he stopped worrying about the curious sound. What's the beeping? Oh my gosh! Cheery! The plump young woman sat about devouring all the food she ordered despite the strange look she was getting. Now that was an appetite to be reckoned with. It took her under 3 minutes to polish off the lot. And looking not the least bit sated, she then picked up the menu back up. Was she seriously going to order more? Norikawa was starting to take an interest in this young lady. There might be a story here. He conjured up a series of headlines in his mind. Woman inhales 30,000 calories in 3 minutes. This is the equivalent of 100 pieces of shortcake, 300 glasses of milk, or enough steak and rice to feed about 30 people. Jesus. No, he needed something with more punch. Food for thought. An expose about obesity. Wow. Wow. No, that was no good. He wasn't writing for a fashion mag here. A gourmet day in Shibuya. That was it! He would be able to whip something up if it went with the foodie angle. Norikawa got up from his seat. That's pretty impressive, he said to the hungry diner. Do you always eat that much? The young woman glared back at him. Not always, she said. Suddenly tension filled the air. Oops, was that way too blunt to me? I mean, she is a young lady after all. Maybe I should change up my approach. Who the heck are you, anyway? The woman asked. I'm a freelance writer. I was hoping I could do a quick interview with you real quick. You want to interview me? The suspicion was plain on her face. I do. I mean, girls all over the world worry about their diets, right? I hear that, yeah. So would you be willing to share your secret, or your technique, or whatever, for how to eat without getting fat? What, me? Sure, I mean, look at the figure you're maintaining despite eating all this food. Wow. What up, Cheese Lord? How's it going? Also, we just called her cute AF. Cute girl. Cute. Listen, just because you're chubby, don't mean you're ugly. Because chubby women are cute too. It's all about the what's inside, your heart, how you present yourself. You could be like me, or you could have a towel on your face and words. I don't know. The young woman's expression brightened up with a C or a K. Cheese with the K or cheese with the C? Or chubby with the K? I think chubby with the C. C-H-U, yeah. Or cute with a C. Oh, you noticed? There's actually a lot that goes into all this. Yeah? The basic thing though is to eat 10 meals a day. Norikawa struggled to keep his jaw from dropping. 10 meals a day? She flashed him a chubby treat grin. You don't know how diets work, do ya? She chuckled. Hey, what up, Baba? How's it going?
Eating only 1 or 2 meals a day, that's what make you fat. You gotta spare your food out into smaller portions throughout the day. That's the fundamentals of dieting right there. Right, but what happened to the smaller portions part? You're eating tons of calories. Norikawa had to bite his tongue. Ah, I see, you said. Any other pro-dieting tips you can share? Well, for the basics, I say they always drink protein instead of tea, yeah? Drink protein all day, seriously? Once again, it took all of Norikawa's willpower to keep his thoughts to himself. Let's see, what else? Oh, there's this stuff called Burning Hammer too, but she trailed off with a little wince. Wait, Norikawa perked up. Did you say Burning Hammer? Oh, you know it? I've heard of it anyway, Norikawa replied. He decided it was better off keeping his plans to head to the sales demo a secret. There's a sales demo later on, if you're interested, the woman said as if she were reading his thoughts. Though, full disclosure, I'm working for them right now. She handed Norikawa an advertising pamphlet. This was a more detailed map for the venue included. What a stroke of luck! Now he didn't need to rely on the crummy map in the project proposal anymore. He'd have no trouble finding the venue with the building's various floors all broken down for him. And actually, I gotta get back to work, the girl said. Sure, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to hang back and finish up my copy here. The woman left the cafe and Norikawa went back to his laptop. Bye, Cheese Lord. No, you're not weird. Dude, I'm weird. I'm super weird. Welcome back, Justin, by the way. I'm super, super weird. You're good, Cheese. He got some new info on the Burning Hammer sales demo, but he also lost some more time. The surveillance camera piece still wasn't finished. I was going to be a near thing to get it done before the sales demo started. Yet, instead of returning to his writing, he got out his cell phone. What if Toyama had gotten another of his crazy ideas? If he tried to hang himself again? The thought had made Norikawa too worried to work on his copy. The phone rang several times before someone picked up. Mr. Toyama, where are you right now? Norikawa asked. Right now, I'm on the run, somewhere near Shoto. An upscale residential district. Despite being smack dab in the middle of the city, it's a quiet neighborhood rife with greenery. The residence of the former governor of Tokyo is here, built on a massive 2,200 square meter plot of land. There's a shady hotel district a short walk to the south, making for quite the juxtaposition. Did he cheat on his wife? Why mention the shady hotel? Did he cheat on his wife? Is that what's going on here? Is the loan sharks after him? Jeez. Toyama was speaking in an oddly hushed tone. Shoto!
After you left the office, some guys came by to collect on my debts, so I made a run for it.
Okay, so he wasn't dead, but the situation was still pretty bad. Yeah, I'd say so. Look, we'll get you through this somehow, Norikawa said, hoping it was true. Just keep your head down, stay out of trouble, stay where you are right now. You need to get back to the office ASAP. I'd say get back to the office. You need to get back to the office ASAP.
The office? But they'll find me there for sure.
Toyama's voice was a little more than a pathetic whimper.
It's a little bit of reverse psychology. The last place the debt collectors are going to think you went is back to the office, right?
Ah, I see, Toyama said.
He sounded impressed by the suggestion.
For now, just stay hidden until I can get these articles finished.
All right, Toyama said weakly. He hung up.
Cool. Norikawa let out a deep sigh, then turned back to his laptop. Keep out? We chose a good option! Hey! Now we have 2 keep outs. That seems weird. Alright, so we can't really go anywhere with anybody. We only have Achi and Osawa that we can be. Technically with Norikawa though, I could choose to not approach. I think we should play as the other characters. Let's play as Osawa 2 years ago with Maria. So let's play as Osawa. Good old Osawa. The rain won't let up. No matter how much time passes, it just won't stop. Ever since that day, the sound of raindrops has been burned into my mind. Such an awful, heart-rending sound, driving me to strip my life down to shadows. And yet, no matter what else I abandon, nothing will make the sound of the rain stop. So, Osama's scared of rain. Osawa. That was a bad misspeak. That's alright. Osawa. Osawa stared at the postcard that was nestled into the final page of the photo album. He purchased it 2 years earlier while on a trip with Maria to the Middle East. Originally used to indicated Iran, Afghanistan, and the region surrounding them. In modern times, the term refers to part of southwestern Asia, including India and Afghanistan, and the section of northeastern Africa along the Mediterranean coast. However, in Japan, as well as the US, the term Middle East is often understood to refer specifically to those part of the region with a strong Islamic influence. Nice. Baba nice. He mentioned that he was being sent there on business, and Maria had just blurted out, "I want to go with you." She recently developed an interest in the Middle East conflict, and apparently she had been yearning to see the area firsthand. The ongoing friction in the Palestine region between the Jewish people who founded the nation of Israel and the Arabs who had been living there previously. The religious and historical context of this cultural clash is well beyond the scope of what can be elucidated here. Yeah, if you guys want to know more about the Palestine-Israel conflict, the news helps, Wikipedia. But check the resources of Wikipedia. Don't read Wikipedia itself. Just go down to references and follow up on those. Those are usually really good. His daughter's newfound curiosity had taken him aback. She had always tended to be quiet and self-contained. The clumsy conversations aboard the airplane, the meals eaten together in awkward silence, it all felt like such a distant memory to Osawa now. "Ma'am, I'm afraid I can't let you do that." He heard Kajiwara's voice outside the door. "Why ever not? I'm just going out for a bit." The detective was arguing with I. Great. "And just who was it who told me I should try to..." Oh. "And just who was it who told me I should try to go aboard my life as normal, huh?" Osawa's wife sneered. "Ma'am, please, How would you feel about being told to just sit around and wait?" I's angry shriek jerked Osawa to his feet. He hurried from the study to try to calm her down. Ma'am, please wait." Oh, look at his moccasins. But by the time that Osawa had made his way downstairs, his wife had already stormed outside, despite Kajiwara's attempts to stop her. Osawa doubted anything he could have said was stopped Ai from leaving. Trying to physically keep her from going out would only may have made for an even worse uproar. He was glad that at least it hadn't come to that. He was turning to head back to the study when Kajiwara caught his eye. Resigned, he headed down the stairs and bowed to the detective. "Creepy man, creepy detective, let's go!" That's a creepy clock! Jeez, Kajiwara is weird. "Any idea where she's going?" Kajiwara asked. "I mean, at a time like this?" Osawa shook his head. "I wouldn't know." "I didn't think so. You know, your wife really is something else." Osawa arched an eyebrow. "That's one way to describe her. A rather rude way, as a matter of fact." "Oh, no offense intended. It's just that, ever since this case started, you've both been holed up in your own respective rooms." The more Kajiwara spoke, the more irritated Osawa became. "What's your point?" he demanded. "I just mean you haven't been having any, marital discourse." According to one survey, in roughly 6% of households, discourse between spouses is largely non-existent. Various reasons for this were offered by the couples in question. Many claimed that they were too tired to have the energy to talk, or stated, "We wind up fighting when we talk, or we have nothing to talk about." That's pretty sad. Because I think that's saying that, like, 6% of houses have stable relationships. That's really sad. That's crazy. "Mind your own business," Osawa snapped. Kajiwara dipped his head deferentially. "The two of us not talking isn't a new thing, anyhow," Osawa added. "I have a policy of not having pointless conversations." It's quite common for Kenji Osawa to make it through any entire day without having a single conversation. On many days, he opens his mouth only to eat or brush his teeth. His current record is a streak of 14 consecutive days during which he didn't talk to anyone. That's pretty cool. Good for you, Osawa. Huh. It didn't look as though Kajiwara quite understood.
"Microorganisms such as viruses don't have conversations, and yet still they continually propagate in order to survive."
Thinking about viruses, Osawa was back in familiar territory. He felt a surge of confidence.
"Once you have a clear purpose, conversation is unnecessary."
True. And do you have a clear purpose for the relationship with your wife, Mr. Osawa?
"Of course I do. To be a family."
Arms crossed, Kajiwara struck through a thoughtful pose. He looks scared.
At least
I've learned one useful thing today, Mr. Osawa. Namely, that you don't like to have pointless conversations.
it's a good thing to know.
Kajiwara uncrossed his arms for a moment, then crossed them right back again, furrowing his brow. But see, that's funny. You seem to have a tendency to have pointless conversations with me, and...
Because you keep coming to talk to me.
Osawa saw red.
You don't leave me much of a choice.
Tanaka poked his head out from the living room. All three of you seem to be looking at the camera. Osawa looks like he's about to shit his pants. He's really scared. Tanaka just seems like he's super cool and is like, yo, I'm here for this interview. I'm about to rock this shit. Let's go. And then Kajiwara is like, please don't kill me. 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 Like, that's pretty much what he's at right now. That's what he looks like, at least.
Is something the matter?
He asked.
No.
Osawa struggled to regain his calm.
Perfect timing, actually. There's something I need to talk to you about.
He turned back to Kajiwara.
My apologies, Detective, but would you mind giving us some privacy?
Kajiwara didn't move.
Detective.
Osawa gave the policeman a hard look and saw him crack a smile. Yes, what is it? Kajiwara said at last.
Don't you play dumb with me. Give us some privacy.
Is that a discussion I shouldn't overhear?
Actually, yes, it's work-related.
What up, Teddy? Yeah, he's having coffee ritual, it's true.
There are business matters I'd prefer to keep confidential.
Ah, I see. Hey, Final, how's it going? Nice, nice. Sounds fun, sounds fun. Reluctantly getting to his feet, Kajiwara slipped away into the living room. Kajiwara is creepy AF. Can I be real here?
Tanaka, Osawa began, about those emails.
He stopped abruptly. Kajiwara had reappeared in the living room door, staring right at them.
What are you doing? Osawa demanded.
Oh, should I not be watching? Osawa felt like he was about to burst a blood vessel. I mean, you never told me I couldn't watch.
Because it should be obvious.
The detective made a scolded puppy face, then closed the living room door. Osawa let out a heavy sigh. He'd never been an extrovert, but he didn't really recall human interaction being quite this draining. Dude, Kajiwara is weird and creepy. Really creepy. It's Johnny True. Anyway, sir, Tanaka prompted, you were saying...
Yes, about those emails. Something doesn't make sense. I don't understand how Mr. Makino was able to get the antiviral agent to anyone on the outside.
Sharing an Okoshi Pharmaceuticals drug with external sources while it was still under development required the approval of an executive committee that included Osawa himself. There should have been no way the antiviral could be sent out without his knowledge. Tanaka hesitated a few moments before responding. Thanks, Teddy. I appreciate you answering Final's question.
Are you aware of the strife between the company president and the chairman?
Are you aware of the strife between the company president and the chairman? Osawa shook his head. Final, the joke's already old. Blindly did that last time, and I know Blindly has been here before, but we don't need to repeat jokes. He was a researcher through and through. Factional rivalries held no interest for him whatsoever. Makino effectively leads the chairman's team, and the antiviral agent is their pet project. Despite being the executive officer in charge of the project, however, Makino still needs the president's approval to...
You know what? Forget about that right now. What do we do about security?
In theory, it was physically impossible to get the antiviral out of the lab without detection. Entry to the biohazard laboratory where it was kept required fingerprint authentication from both Osawa and Tanaka. Also, Final, I already know what you're trying to do. Not gonna happen until the end of streams. Fingerprint authentication, technology that allows an individual's identity to be verified by scanning the fingerprints. It is one element of biometrics, the measurement of physical characteristics to identify individuals. There are even devices that can identify people by checking the veins in the palms of their hands or the irises of their eyes. So this is fingerprint mapping, which is pretty cool. If it's a match, it allows you in. And it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Like, some of those can be, back and forth. Without the two of them there, nobody can even get them into the storage facility. Storage facility, because of a dangerous virus, is also stored there. The lab where the antiviral is kept is protected by an ID checkpoint as well as a sophisticated 3-tiered lock system that requires fingerprint authentication. Multiple security guards are also posted outside the laboratory entrance 24 hours a day, making it all but impossible for an unauthorized person to get into the secured storage area. Tanaka followed his drift. Ah yes, I see what you mean. He inclined his head and thought as Osawa continued. Could someone have overwritten the fingerprint authentication program? Let's check the entry logs to the storage section. We'll just have to ask Kano in person. Ooh, Danganronpa. That'll be interesting. We'll have to ask Kano in person. We'll just have to ask Kano in person. The fact was that the antiviral had been used for clinical testing. Either Kano had taken it from the laboratory personally, or someone working on his orders had done so. But how? Was there really some way they could have bypassed lab security without anyone else knowing? Osawa couldn't think how it would be possible. The living room door opened with a soft creak. It was Kajiwara, and he looked stiff and pale. Something terrible has happened, he said. Visions of tragedy flooded Osawa's mind. Maria, is she... Kajiwara shook his head. No, it's not that. What is it then? Osawa asked, his voice trembling. Sir, I need you to stay calm. Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. You see, the toilet's clogged. Kajiwara is so serious about everything, and he always gives the worst news. And this is the worst. We're in the shits now, everybody. We're just, we're in the shits, man. We're in the shits. It's clogged. All right, who's getting their butt dirty? So, he's really plunging the toilet. Plunger, a cleaning utility implement consisting of a soft hemispherical rubber suction cup attached to the end of a dowel. By pressing the cup over the opening of a drain that has been clogged, one can apply suction pressure to jostle the blockage free. It makes a variety of sounds when used, such as glub, glork, schluck, schlurp, sloop, and pop. That's glork, sluck, schlorp, sloop, and pop. Hey, what up, Maggie? How's it going? What's so funny? The sounds! Glorp, glork, sluck, schlorp, blop. Plunger in hand, Osawa stabbed vigorously at the recalcitrant toilet bowl, struggling to loosen the unseen blockage. Kajiwara was at his side, wiping up the floor with a rag. How did this even happen? Sorry. How did this even happen? The detective groaned. Are you kidding? I was hoping you could tell me that. Happy birthday. Thanks, Mikey. For today suddenly became my birthday. I don't know why. The plunger sucked and slurped at the porcelain basin. This was a first for Osawa. He never tried to unclog a toilet before in his life. Really? Really? I'm usually the one unclogging toilets because I have no sense of smell, or really little, so I can't smell it. Looks disgusting. Think of it as a blessing. Sorry, think of it as a blessing disguise, Mr. Osawa. What the hell are you talking about? What about this constitutes a blessing? I just meant that at least this happened before you needed to, do your business. Son of a bitch. Without the slightest hint of a guile of his face, Kajiwara picked up his bucket and headed for the sink back in the washing area. Grumbling to himself, Osawa pumped the plunger over and over again. This was almost funny. Almost ridiculous, in fact. His daughter had been kidnapped, and he was stuck unclogging a toilet. He was quite possibly caught up in a major corporate conspiracy, and here he was unclogging a toilet. Tanaka poked his head into the bathroom. Did you fix it yet?
If you need to urinate, then use the restroom on the second floor.
That's alright. Here's fine. Tanaka stepped in beside him and abruptly shut the bathroom. That just went from extremely dark and depressing to goddamn hilarious to oh my fucking god, what is going on in like a minute. Tanaka stepped in beside him and abruptly shut the bathroom door. Now the two men were crammed together in the narrow lavatory.
Hey, Osawa hissed. What the hell are you doing?
Tanaka made eye contact with Osawa via the mirror. He spoke in a hushed voice. I've been waiting for a moment I can get you alone.
What?
Tanaka slid around to face him, giving him an intense stare. Sir, could you please be quiet for a moment? Tanaka had tears in the corners of his eyes. This will only take a moment. Osawa could feel the warmth beneath the breath of his deputy whispering against his cheek. Tanaka reached for something inside his coat.
Hey, come on, knock it off.
Osama lifted and plunged like a weapon. Look, if you want to talk, we can do it out there. Shoved Tanaka out of the bathroom. Alright, do as you wish. Osawa closed his eyes. Viewer discretion is advised?
Alright, do as you wish.
Osawa closed his eyes. Are you sure you're ready for this?
I'm not sure. This is all happening pretty fast. To be honest, I'm rather nervous.
I understand, sir.
I mean, now that I think of it, we do spend day in, day out in that lab together. I suppose this was bound to happen sooner or later.
Sir, could you please open your eyes? I'd like you to look at this.
You'll have to forgive me. This is all a bit sudden.
Please, sir. Hold on. I need to figure out something really quick. Just really quick. Because I don't think this is, if it's anything, I don't think it's a red herring. What rating is this? What rating is this game? Hold on, is this, no, not that, the ESRB. Just want to be sure. Okay, it's teen. There's no nudity in this game. There's no nudity. We good. Just please, sir, take a look.
No, I can't.
It's just the two of us. It's probably going to shock you, I know, but please, just look.
Is it really that shocking?
Oh yes, very. Now please, open your eyes.
Okay. No, I can't.
Sir, trust me, this isn't easy for me either.
Alright.
Bracing himself, Osawa opened his eyes. Tanaka thrust out his cell phone. Here, take a look at this.
Huh?
Osawa blinked, bewildered, then refocused on the phone. Yeah, no, dude, I know you were thinking that you're about to get touched inappropriately, but, you know, Tanaka... Tanaka seems like a good guy. He could never have anticipated what he saw on the LCD screen. What is it? Keep out? Not another keep out! Literally, we are at 3 keep outs. We're at 3 keep outs right now. Literally, we can't move on. We only could play as Achi. So something happens in Achi's story here. That's gonna constitute everything that happens. I know, Achi must be super important. Kano's Kano has a bad ending. Kano got married. We could reverse that, but he's still married. Tama is now stuck trying to figure out where to go, like hearing somebody's voice. Osawa is seeing something on a phone, and Minorikawa doesn't know where to go. Achi kept his... Okay. Achi and Hitomi scampered through the back roads along Center Guy, white sneakers and pumps slapping on the pavement. Achi kept his eyes peeled, continually checking ahead and behind as they darted through the gaps between the buildings. Apparently I'm choosing all the good answers, though, which is interesting. Finally, they stopped in a narrow alley. There's no way he'll find us in here, he said. No one knows about this place. Caitlin, your birthday's tomorrow? Oh, I'm so excited. A happy early birthday, but I will say happy birthday tomorrow to you. He took another look around and let out a sigh of relief. It seemed they managed to shake the gunman for now. They're in the alleyway again. Back when Achi was with SOS, he had come through Center Guy practically every day. And SOS is the abbreviation for Studs of Shibuya, the name given to a group by Achi when he founded it. Originally just a bunch of like-minded young people hanging out together, it has since become known as a gang that picks fights around Shibuya. The gang had started out as a little more than a group of local teens. They didn't do much in particular, just horsing around and killing time. What mattered was that they were having fun. But it wasn't long before it wasn't all fun and games. Achi couldn't help but notice the slobs who were making a mess of Shibuya, dirtying it all up. He wasn't about to let them get away with it. More frequently, it was folks who tossed cigarette butts out on the street or plastered walls and graffiti. When they didn't respond to his more gentle warnings, he found slightly more forceful ways of getting his point across. SOS got a reputation. Street Punk started trying to pick fights with its new members. Those guys required a bit more force to handle, but when it came to the worst of the lot, the drug dealers, the muggers, the guys who tried to force themselves on women, it was full-on battle, no horns barred. Before long, SOS had established itself as something as a vigilante corps. Soon it became known as one of the biggest gangs in Shibuya. Let's lay low here for a bit and see what happens, Achi said. The alley where they hid was like a dimly lit chasm, obscuring them from view. The only problem now was figuring out what to do next. They needed to find that blue van again, which meant figuring out the best way to get back to Dogenzaka without the man with the cane catching them once more. Achi? Hitomi whispered. I think I can handle myself from here. She got to her feet and gave Achi a deep bow. Whoa, Achi held up a hand. We've been over this already. You're not gonna be okay. That guy has a gun. If you let... I don't know why I'm doing my Norikawa voice. Whoa, Achi held up a hand. We've been over this already. You're not gonna be okay. That guy has a gun. If you let her go up against that assassin alone, he might as well be the one to pull the trigger himself. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me, Hitomi continued as if she hadn't heard him. She started to shuffle out of the alleyway. Hey, what did I just say? Really, Achi, I appreciate your concern, but I can't in good conscience put you in danger anymore. But I mean... Achi tried to press the point, but Hitomi cut him off. There's no good reason for you to risk yourself to keep helping me. Her tone was resolute, but Achi was determined to help her anyway. He freezed her back down. Achi knew she had a point, and he decided to back off. I mean, we're gonna be determined. Still, Achi was determined to help her anyway. He refused to back down. Look, I want to help people who are in trouble. What's so wrong about that? Huh? He locked eyes with Hitomi, willing her to understand. I'm not the most dependable guy, I know that. But still, Hitomi dropped her gaze and Achi trailed off, feeling like an idiot. Oh, it's no use. I'm no use. He hung his head with a sigh. Uh-oh. Just then, a bit of light shone into the alleyway from above. It looked like someone on the adjacent building's upper floor had turned on the lights. Well, hold on. Before building. The Nokane building, this multi-tenant building has 7 floors, but a decade-old urban legend tells of a mysterious 13th floor. A Diet sales demo is being held on one of the upper floors today. Someone? Wait. Why can we jump to Tama right now? Why can't I jump to Tama right now? Wait, what? So Tama... So this is just going from Tama's story. Okay. So I didn't need to do that. Well, I mean, while I'm here, why don't I just switch a choice? Let's see if I can switch a choice right here. Because there's the cockroach. So let's switch choices. One of them. Maybe this is a bad ending. I don't know. I snatch up the cardboard box and make a run for it. I snatch up the cardboard box and make a run for it. Phew, I made it. Okay, so that didn't change anything. Okay. That's interesting that there was a jump. That's really interesting there's a jump. But I guess it just shows how interconnected they are. So Tama's just right there. Interesting. The light illuminated Hitomi's face. When Achi saw the look in her eyes, he reconsidered his decision. She was trying her hardest to hide it, but she was clearly terrified. No way he was letting her go back out there alone. Still, if he tried to insist, she would only refuse him again. Hitomi, humor me for a second here. Tell me, what's the proper way to dispose of a plastic bottle? She stared at him in surprise. Well, first you remove the cap and the wrapper. Then you rinse out the inside and crush it. Ashi let out a breath he's been holding. Okay, good. Huh? I don't understand. What's good? You gave me my reason why I have to help you out. I super respect people who respect the environment. I'm one of those whatchamacallits, an environmentalist. Achi pointed at a Mr. Clean t-shirt. Hitomi hesitated. And what was your plan if I said the answer was to toss the plastic with the trash? Trying to do UPD. No worries, Justin. Well then, I need to stick with you to help teach you. Environmental awareness begins with good education. So then you're going to tag along with me regardless. Look, I'm just super pumped to learn that you care so much about proper recycling. Achi cracked a huge grin. Okay then. Okay? If you're really that sure about it, I guess I could use your help a little while longer. Oh, they like each other. Oh, the heart. The heart. Look at that. Look at those two. Those two lovebirds right there. Oh, it's so good. Now kiss. Hitomi flashed him a little smile. Man, she's so cute, Achi thought. Don't get married. That could be a bad ending. We know this from Kano. Kano got married and look where he is now. Dead, probably. I don't know. Sneaking out from the alley, Achi and Hitomi began to make their way along the side streets back toward Dorganzaka. Also, Caitlin, if you were trying to make an AU of people, Splatoobers and such in this game, who would I be? Do I count? Am I included in this? Who would everybody be? I'm curious, Caitlin. I'm really curious who you would think. And chat, I'd also want you to get down to this. Who would you say each person would be in this game that is like a Splatuber or somebody you watch? Sneaking out from the alley, Achi and Hitomi began to make their way along the side streets back towards Dogenzaka. It was a pretty big detour compared to taking the main thoroughfares, but that would be worth it if it meant they avoided the man with the cane. Achi looked over at Hitomi as she walked alongside him. Her face was solemn. He could feel the intensity of her worry for her sister. Ooh, well. Oh, well, look who's got himself a little cutie. The sudden call started him. He spun around. Yo, Mean Clean, over here. Achi spotted a young man up ahead sneering at him. At his side were two others. Achi recognized the lot. SOS. Hitomi let out a nervous squeak. Achi? Don't worry about them. He led her onward, attempting to stride right past the trio. Whoa, hey now, you just gonna ignore me? That's pretty damn rude, especially coming from somebody who used to be an old buddy. The three toughs moved to bar Achi's path. Oh, she is hella fine. Come on, ain't you gonna introduce us? Hella fine, extremely attractive. The etymology of hella is somewhat unclear, but its meaning is undisputed. Very, a lot of, totally, and the like. Potential synonyms for hella fine include mighty fine, fine as hell, and bangin'. Vian would be Kano? Okay. Kit, I'd probably be Achi. Protecting the girl and always and being really dumb? Probably. You know what? I'm usually a protector. I'm the guy who usually protects people. So I can see myself being Achi. Sorry, man, Achi said. I'm in a bit of a hurry here. He gave them a tepid smile. Big hurry, huh? Where to? Some love hotel in Maru Yamacho. Too rich, another chimed in. She a screamer, Achi? Achi! Achi! Take a stereotypical way to poke fun at a would-be enormous couple. Now take Achi's name. There you go. They burst out howling like a gang of monkeys. One of them cackled like a grinning idiot. Achi! 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 This is the weirdest thing I've ever said out loud. Achi felt his anger boil. These guys are in a sore need of major ass kicking. But there's too much at stake. He was just going to have to suck it up and ignore them for the time being. Well, let's just suck it up. There's too much at stake. He was just going to have to suck it up and ignore them for the time being. Gritting his teeth, he tried to slip past them, but the largest of the three grabbed him by the collar. You ran out, man. Susumu is the only one who runs this town now. You got no right to keep acting like you're the boss of us. He shoved Achi up against the wall. Says who? Achi said. Susumu? Say what now? Did Susumu say I got no right to act like the boss? Bitch, please. Susumu ain't got time to worry about your sorry ass. Is that so? Damn. Knocked out cold. Achi's fist flashed out, catching the man clean out of the draw. He dropped to the ground with a dull thud. Tell Susumu this. Everyone in Shibuya needs to just play nice and have fun. Achi kept his tone light and jovial, but he eyed the two other toughs like a hawk eyeing its prey. Is he going to be alright? Hitomi murmured. She looked at the man Achi had laid out with some concern. Oh, he'll be fine. If that's all it took to knock him out, he's got no right to act all badass. Tama is failboat? Achi, huh? I don't believe I've had the pleasure. A taller man with an angry gleam in his eyes had appeared atop the steps nearby. He must have turned up during the commotion. Tama is failboat. Interesting. Kill everyone? Nice, Teddy. Congratulations. He radiated a distinct aura of menace. That's me, Achi replied. And just who are you? For once, it was someone he didn't recognize. Who are you? The name's Yoji Kiryu. He used to roll with the gang from Ikebukuro until a few months ago. Known as the Killer Whale of Bukuro, he answered any and all resistance with his fists. His crazy antics led him to being kicked out of the gang, however, and lately he's been hanging around Shibuya. Interesting. I joined up with SOS after you left. Now I'm Susumu's number 2 guy. The newcomer stared at Achi's face, sizing him up. Our legendary founder. I've heard so much about you. The founder. It had been a long time since anyone had called him that. There'd been a bunch of arguing over who would take charge of the new group that was forming to set things straight in Shibuya. At some point, folks had started hailing him as the force behind SOS. True, Teddy, true. But founder, that was just something his buddies called him. He had never paid it much heed. Shibuya was a place for fun, not hierarchies. At least in Achi's mind, that was how it ought to be. Like how you busted up some mean old drug dealers. Rescue your pals from Yakuza bondage. Bondage. Here, bondage is used strictly in the sense of captivity. Any other types of Yakuza bondage will not be featured in this game. Sorry if the tip link here got your hope ups up. I like how the game totally... This is the word bondage, which the game is saying that if you're into bondage and you try to click on this link to think you're going to see something, you're not. And then they're making fun of you for it. You're a real hero. Kiryu's tongue flickered from his mouth like a snake's. Good thing I'm giving him a snake voice. Hitomi shuddered. Achi couldn't blame her for being creeped out. But that's all in the past now, isn't it? Kiryu continued. You went modestly on your way. It's up to us now, and we've helped SOS grow by leaps and bounds to help carry on your legacy, no matter who stands in our way. That thought didn't sit right with Achi. If aggressive expansion was the name of the game, that gang was losing touch with its roots. It wasn't about keeping Shibuya safe and fun anymore. Make SOS bigger, huh? He said. I'm guessing that was Susumu's call as well? Kiryu didn't answer his question. His mouth merely twisted into a knowing sneer. In any event, I think these boys here need a little lesson in manners. The guillotine ought to do the trick. Guillotine, a capital punishment device invented in 18th century France. The condemned is executed by decapitation by means of a heavy blade that descends from above. Named for physician Joseph Ignace Guillotine, who advocated its use for the National Assembly. Both King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were executed by guillotines. So interesting. So he's actually on our side, makes it sound like. The other gang members stared in alarm. Whoa, hey, just calm down there, man. Please, anything but the guillotine. Kiryu pointed pointedly ignored their pleas. Whoa, hey, what's the guillotine? Achi asked. Kiryu smirked. The guillotine is the guillotine. Uh-oh. With me, worms. Without a glance back, Kiryu strode away. His two underlings followed him unhappily. Achi wondered what lay in store for them, but right now he had more important things to worry about. Come on, let's go. He took Hitomi by the hand and they were back on their way. That doesn't sound good. Oh, Minorikawa's gonna have a fun time interviewing them. Oh, Hitomi perked up. That's me. She reached into her pocket and took out her cell phone. Huh? She stared at the screen with concentration. What is it, Achi asked. It's an email from Mr. Tanaka.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Tanaka! Oh my gosh!
Who's Mr. Tanaka?
He works with my father. I'm not sure what I should do.
Achi remembered that the criminal had warned her against contacting her family or the police. She seemed reluctant to even open this message. I'm sure it's fine to just read an email, he said. And besides, he's not the police and he's not your family.
Yeah, you're right.
Hitomi scanned the message anxiously. It sounds like he's worried about me, she said. Then does he know about the kidnapping?
Yes, I know my father trusts him. And he's always been so...
Hitomi cut herself short. Still, it was clear to Achi that she and this Tanaka person had some sort of close relationship. Lol, Teddy. I wonder if it's safe for me to let him know what the situation is. I think it should be, Achi told her. I mean, the kidnappers aren't going to know you sent an email, right? Hitomi began typing out a response. Achi watched over her, wild speculations running through his mind. There was no way a mild-mannered young lady like her could be dating one of her father's co-workers, was there? Oops, that's the wrong thing. But we can jump. So, this is the email that Tanaka is showing Osawa. So he doesn't know about Achi, but at least we know that Osawa will know, and we got through the keep out. After the weird newness. Osawa could never have anticipated what he saw on the LCD screen. It was an email from Hitomi. Stifling an exclamation, he scanned the contents of the message. There's a man following me. He has a gun and I think he's trying to kill me. I'm safe for the moment, so try not to worry. The kidnapper warned me, told me not to contact my family or the police. Please keep this email a secret.
But Hitomi didn't give the kidnapper the ransom, Osawa said. What could anyone want with her now?
Tanaka shook his head, uncertain. He wouldn't know any better than I would, I suppose.
Do the police know about this? And if so, why haven't they said anything?
He felt himself start to tremble as he searched for answers in Tanaka's silent gaze.
Do you think this could be related to that other thing?
I doubt it. If it were, why would they go after Totomi?
I suppose you're right, but...
Osawa was shaking outright now. Tanaka laid a hand on his shoulder. First, just calm down and let's think about what we know about the kidnapper. His composure helped Osawa keep himself under control. Because once again, I want to be certain here. We need to let you guys know. Keep it secret tells Shay from the Proud Family. Trio.
What? What was that?
She's the loud one, right? If I recall correctly. So here's something interesting about this game that like they allude to, but now it's super clear. Each character cannot interact with each other. If they interact with each other, the game is over. It's a bad ending. It's a bad ending if they like even remotely interact with each other. Like Minorikawa interacting with Kano and seeing him ruins it. The moment that they see each other, everything is ruined. That's how you get the bad endings.
They've taken Maria,
the vice director continued quietly, along with a ransom of 50 million yen. And now they're after Hitomi. His gaze sharpened. Sir, do you think this could be someone who holds a personal grudge against you?
A grudge?
Osawa considered. He couldn't think of anyone who would have a reason to attack him. He'd been too caught up in virus research since his time in school to have formed any hostile rivalries. He didn't have any enemies that he knew of.
Maybe someone's jealous that I became head of a laboratory?
He suggested doubtfully. He had held his position for years at this point. Why would that spur someone into kidnapping his daughter now? Yeah, exactly, Teddy, exactly. Has anything happened recently? Tanaka asked. Anything strange since you got back from overseas?
Since I got back?
Osawa's heart skipped a beat, then started pumping faster. The first thing that came to mind was the solicitation that he'd gotten from the American laboratory. If he accepted the offer, it would put Okoshi Pharmaceutical in quite a bind. Possibly enough to warrant someone holding a grudge over it. But the only other person who knew about the potential transfer right now was his wife, I.
No, Osawa said. Nothing. Not that I can think of.
Nice, Baba, nice. He couldn't bring himself to discuss the transfer with Tanaka. He felt a surge of guilt from contemplating leaving his trusted assistant behind. If he didn't make the move to America, he planned to recommend that Tanaka replace him as department director. Still, he didn't expect that to make up for his abandonment. Alright, I'll see what information I can find then, Tanaka said. The kidnapper had forbidden any contact with either family or the police, but Tanaka was outside of that circle and he knew how to handle himself with desertion. I'm sorry to have put this on you, Osawa said. And thank you. For now, let's see if we can get Hitomi to exchange some more emails. An uncomfortable thought suddenly occurred to Osawa. He blurted it out without thinking. Why do you have my daughter's contact information on your phone? Tanaka gave him a worried look. Sir, I promise I can explain once all this is over. And with that, he stepped out of the bathroom. Tanaka, what are you hiding? And a plunger. Back to unclogging the toilet. At least he keeps it clean. Super blue. Something in the tone of his final words left Osawa to wonder. Or Sawa to wonder. Oh my goodness, I can't. Apparently the W and M are the same. Could it be that Tanaka and Hitomi were dating? No! He hoped dearly for that not to be the case. Their age difference alone made the idea a disturbing one, let alone so many other considerations. Mamoru Tanaka is 40 years old, Hitomi is 19. This makes him just over twice her age. This does not necessarily mean, however, that they could not date or fall for each other. Many couples with such an age difference between them wind up in a happy, committed relationship. Yeah, that happens. Trying to put aside his paranoia, Osawa assumed a struggle with the clog in the toilet. Most toilet clogs are caused by a buildup of flushable paper products or by solid objects inadvertently dropped into the toilet bowl. But shockingly enough, on very rare occasions, they can be caused by someone taking a dump that happens to be that big that it gets stuck in the pipe. Apologies to anyone who might be eating right now. Oh my gosh. It's Cassie, I don't want to explain it. If you don't know what a dump is, I can't explain it to you. Oh goodness. Hi, Kajiwara. He's so shocked. Kajiwara reappeared, still toting the bucket. You seem to be having a lot of trouble there, sir. You made it sound like the whole mess was Osawa's fault. Of course I am. I've never had to do this before. Really, I think the research you do would be a lot more difficult than this. Cassie, it's when you poop. That's what it is. You take a huge poop, and it gets stuck. That's what it's saying. Sorry for those who are eating. Fixing toilets gives me far more trouble, I'd say. So it would seem. Kajiwara stood watching as if Osawa's efforts made an interesting show. I don't know the first thing about viruses, sir, but I don't find unclogging toilets to be that difficult. Oh yeah, Osawa snapped? Then how about you fix the damn thing? Kajiwara really was a world-class pro at pissing people off. Are you sure? You don't mind? The detective asked. Be my goddamn guest. Bye, Cassie, I'm sorry. Take it easy. Osawa shoved the plunger into Kajiwara's hand. Leaving the detective to handle the toilet, Osawa marched back to his study. He turned onto the CD player and lay back on the sofa, squeezing his eyes shut. He was seriously on edge. Kajiwara had totally broken his stride. What now? The door to the study slowly slid open. It's Detective Kajiwara, sir. Please don't come in here without asking. My apologies, Mr. Osawa. I just wanted to inform you that the toilet has been fixed. Right, fine. Osawa hardly cared. He just wanted this guy to give him a little peace. Oh my, is that really all you have to say, sir? Nary a compliment or encouraging word? Maybe a good job, Kajiwara, or you're getting a promotion, detective. Osawa blew out his breath in exasperation. How? How are you a detective? I'm not sure I get your meaning, sir. You are completely clueless. I'd like to ask your superiors to replace you with a detective who knows how to take his job seriously. Mr. Sawa, with all due respect, it's unusual for a precinct detective like me to be stationed here at a victim's home. What's your point? Not to brag, sir, but I happen to be an exceptional detective, Kajiwara beamed with pride. In fact, I made an excellent showing in the Superstar Detective contest we had on our police social media service. An online platform whose primary feature is allowing people to connect with one another. The police-exclusive social media network that Kajiwara belongs to, Poxy, is very strictly regulated, with any abusive language, slander, sexual content, or lame jokes deleted almost immediately. For a moment, Osawa thought the bolts of incredulous anger that shot through him was the onset of a stroke. How could a single person be so utterly infuriating? And you can't tell anyone about this, Kajiwara went on obliviously. With the summer, a new detective manga is starring up based on me. Planned for serialization in the MPD's monthly PR magazine, the chapter titles have already been decided. Chapter 1, The Fabled Detective Kaji. Chapter 2, Kaji Howls at the Sun. Chapter 3, Kaji Rides the Rails. Chapter 4, Kaji at Daybreak. Chapter 5, Detective Kajak. Chapter 6, Kaji, Queen of the Street. Chapter 7, Look Out, Kaji. Chapter 8, Kaji on the Edge. Chapter 9, Dance, Kaji, Dance. Chapter 10, Space Detective Kaji, and so on and so forth. What up, Moon? How's it going? It's a visual novel. Osawa spat out a peal of feigned laughter. A manga? I can tell you all about the plot, sir. Would you like to hear about it? I would not. It's about a telecommuting detective who solves major crimes using just his wits and his computer. Kajiwara! Shut the fuck up, dude. Surely you'd like to hear about that, sir. I really wouldn't. I know I may not look it, but I'm pretty handy with computers. Kajiwara's eyes drifted over to Osawa's desktop. His hand darted to the mouse. In a matter of moments, he cleared the screensaver and booted up a web browser. Hey! Osawa barked. Don't touch that! It was too late to stop the detective. The monitor showed the page of AyaNet, a fan page devoted to Aya Kamiki. Osawa's imminent rage stroke was beginning to make his vision grow fuzzy. You come to this site regularly, sir. Regularly? Oh, well, I'm not sure I'd, Osawa trailed off, feeling the heat of a blush flare on his cheeks. There's a lot of stuff on this site. Is this a section you primarily spend time on? Well, I mean, for my part, I really only go to the fan forums for folks 40 and over. Aha! With a twinkle of curiosity in his eyes, Kajiwara appeared at the computer screen. Having his privacy invaded to this degree was the ultimate disgrace. Alright, Osawa huffed. You're an amazing detective, Kajiwara. Just incredible. I see you in a new light now. Now would you please get the hell out of my room? He tried to usher Kajiwara back at the door. Please leave me alone. He got up to leave the study. Oh, just please. Now would you please leave me alone? Yeah, the game's good. The game's a lot of fun. It's good. He got up to leave the study. Sir, hold on. There's something I wanted to give you. Kajiwara reached into his pocket. I don't need a damn banana. Osawa fled the room. He needed to be alone, if only for a few moments. But even if he could somehow shake Kajiwara, the other detectives had eyes all over his house. He had reached the limits of his patience. He couldn't even think straight anymore. He headed for the back door, trying to avoid the police. Opening the door quietly, he slipped across the yard and out through the back fence. He didn't want to venture too far out from the house. He found a tiny alley and took cover there, thankfully for a few moments to himself at last. While there, he caught sight of a man and a young girl, a father and his daughter, running past on the main road. It looks as if they're running from something. Toyama! That's Toyama and his daughter. The man glanced anxiously back over his shoulder, dragging his daughter by the hand. Osawa watched absently as the pair rounded a corner and disappeared from sight. Not long after, the pair of thuggish-looking men came running along, heading in the same direction. You there! One of them called out. You see a guy and his daughter around here? A guy and his daughter, Taro Toyama and his daughter Hana. They've come to Shoto while running from loan sharks. Just moments ago, Toyama was talking on the phone with Minorikawa. And let's jump to Minorikawa and get his story continued. There we go. He got some new info on the Burning Hammer sales demo, but he also lost some time. The surveillance camera piece still wasn't finished. It was going to be a near thing to get it done before the sales demo started. Yet instead of returning to his writing, he got out his cell phone. What if Toyama had gotten another crazy ideas? If he tried to hang himself again, the thought had Minorikawa too worried to work out his copy. The phone rang several times before someone picked up.
Mr. Toyama, where are you right now?
Minorikawa asked.
Right now, I'm on the run somewhere near Shoto.
Toyama was speaking in an oddly hushed tone. Shoto?
After you left the office, some guys came by to collect on my debts, so I made a run for it.
Okay, so he wasn't dead, but the situation was still pretty bad.
Look, we'll get you through this somehow,
Minorikawa said, hoping it was true. Just keep your head down. Okay, we're still going to choose the same option.
And you get back to the office ASAP.
An office? But they'll find me there for sure.
Toyama's voice was a little more than a pathetic whimper. It's a little bit of
reverse psychology. The last place the debt collectors are going to think you went is back to the office, right?
Ah, I see, Toyama said.
He sounded impressed by the suggestion.
For now, just stay hidden until I can get these articles finished.
All right, Toyama said weakly. He hung up. Minorikawa let out a deep sigh, then turned back to his laptop. What? Do I have to choose a different option? Do I have to choose a different option? No, that's the same one. Just keep your head down and stay out of trouble. Stay where you are right now.
Stay where I am, but what am I supposed to do?
Toyama's voice dropped in and out and sounded like he was moving quickly. Find some place to hide and just lay low for a while, Minorikawa told him.
All right,
Toyama said weakly. He hung up. Minorikawa laid a deep sigh back to his laptop. There's more to this than what's going on. Somebody else needs to talk to him. Hold on. Let's speed through this. Speed through this. I'm gonna keep going past the point. Oh, there we go. Past some books and oh, they crouched and hid. They crouched and hid this time, compared to because we told them to go back to the office. This time they're hiding. He hadn't been there for long when he caught the man running past the main road. Looks like they're running from something. The man flashed to look back over his shoulder, then took his daughter by the hand and pulled her off the road. They crouched behind some bushes, hiding. As he looked around wide-eyed, he spied Osawa watching him from the alleyway.
Help, the man called out. Help me. Please. If these guys catch me, Oh.
The father's eyes went wide when he got a look at Osawa's face.
You're...
Huh? Osawa thought he recognized this fugitive too, though he couldn't remember from where.
There are some real nasty guys after us, the man said. I know I have no right to ask you this, but please, at least help me keep my daughter safe.
Probably you should go to the police if...
No, they won't be able to help me with this. Please, I'm begging you, help me.
I'm sorry, but...
Please, if not me, then at least help my daughter, the man pleaded.
Osawa looked down at the girl. Unlike her father, she was calm and reserved. She reminded him of Maria just a little. These people need professional help. Osawa decided to call the police. Osawa couldn't just stand idly by. He decided to help them evade their pursuers. Let's just call the police. Osawa decided to hurry and call the police. His first thought was to alert one of the detectives in his home, but now was no time to interfere with their investigation.
Look, I'm calling the police, he said.
He took his cell phone from his pocket.
No, don't, please. I just need somewhere safe right now.
I'm not sure where else I could possibly do.
Well, nothing, I guess. Never mind. I understand.
The man bowed quickly to Osawa, then grabbed his daughter by the hand and ran off. The two had just rounded the corner when a pair of thuggish-looking men came running from the other side of the street. You there, said the man in glasses. You see a guy and his daughter around here? And then that goes to Minorikawa. Is this the good jump? I mean, this could be the good jump. I don't even know. So I guess I have to choose the right set of options. Because I don't think the phone call is supposed to stop. I don't think the phone call is supposed to stop at all. We'll choose the same option. Nope. Still a wrong option. Let's just keep going past this because we'll probably have a bad ending or something. I'm not sure. They should have come by this way. There was a hint of menace in his voice. Osawa feigned ignorance.
Don't think so, no.
Come on, Itaro, let's go, said the older man. Alright, replied the other. The two men dashed off in the direction the father and daughter had gone. So by not helping... Osawa watched until the two men were gone, then headed back inside the house. Maybe by now Kajiwara would be willing to oblige him and get out of his room. Osawa groaned inwardly when he got back to his study.
You're still here.
Yes, sir. I was told to keep my eyes on you after all.
Believe me, it shows.
Mr. Osawa, if you're going to go outside, I'd appreciate if you'd let me know first.
What?
And Kajiwara realized he snuck out of the house. But more importantly, Kajiwara reached back to his suit pocket. I've been meaning to give this to you. He held out a small plastic bag. Inside was a scrap of paper of some sort.
What's that? Osawa asked.
This is what was clogging the toilet, sir. With some hesitation, Osawa took hold of the bag.
Huh? That's...
The passenger named here is listed as Kenji Osawa. What? The plastic bag was a plane ticket, specifically the one for his upcoming flight to the US the following week. He left it out of his desk. How did it wound up getting flushed down the toilet? This looks pretty important, sir, Kajiwara said. I may say it was pretty careless of you to accidentally flush it. A wry sort of smile came to his face. Although, the detective added, I suppose the question of who flushed it is another matter entirely. I think I did. Or Tanaka. Osawa was at a loss for words. Someone had tried to flush his plane ticket on purpose. He was sure of it. It's either Tanaka or I. It probably is I. He knocked on the door to Ai's room, but there was no response. It didn't look like she'd gone back home yet. Osawa let himself in. Wow. Girl's a mess. The stinging scent of her perfume pervaded the room, which was decorated all in white. Clothes were strewn all about, as if to put her slovenliness on display. She'd been like this ever since they got married, and Osawa had long since stopped caring. It must have been I who tried to flush the ticket. He knew she didn't want him going to America, but still, couldn't she have found a better way to get rid of it? Thanks to her, he'd been stuck hunched over the damn toilet, fighting with the plunger. Osawa sat down on the bed amidst the brand-name clothing, then he spotted something odd down by his feet. It was a gold cigarette lighter. Just went ahead, I picked up smoking. Osawa picked up the lighter and set it on the shelf next to the bed. He started out of the room, but stopped as he noticed a scrapbook on the bookshelf. The rest of the shelf was filled with fashion magazines, so the scrapbook definitely drew his eye. Curiously, he took it down and opened it. The book was filled with articles and write-ups about the results of Osawa's research and the company's various achievements. Flipping through the pages took him on a trip down memory lane. There's even an old company memo welcoming Tanaka on board as his new vice director. There's a photo of Osawa shaking Tanaka's hand at the party celebrating his new position. It was a little peculiar to think that she had bothered to keep something so trivial. No way. No way. I'm going to keep quiet about what I'm thinking. Honestly, sorry. I'm going to keep quiet on it. But for those who just read the bottom and the top, will know exactly what I'm thinking. A series of magazine articles was nestled between the pages further into the book. These hadn't been clipped out for inclusion in the scrapbook itself. Osawa glanced through them. Flattering Okoshi Pharmaceutical arranges marriage for political convenience. It was a self-indulgent piece from some rag called Four-Star General Gossip from right after he and I had gotten married. When the piece had first run, he'd been too furious to read it. Now he gave it a quick looking over. It was pretty much exactly what he expected. It talked about how one of the corporate directors had sacrificed his own daughter in order to keep one of his researchers on board. Sacrifice, allowing someone else to come in harms for one personal gain. In this case, the term is used figuratively, not literally. Referring, of course, to Makino offering Osawa Ai's hand in marriage. Rumors abound of martial strife between newlyweds. The article went on to talk about how Ai had been dating another man before she and Osawa had gotten married. The whole thing was a bunch of puerile rubbish. Any marriage involves some kind of calculated self-interest, after all. Whatever the reasons for their union, nothing changed the fact that I was now his wife. With a faint sigh, Osawa put the scrapbook back on the shelf. You could probably figure out who I was dating. Feeling disconsolate, he returned to his study and began flipping through his CD rack. His eye scanned for Aya Kamiki's album For Tomorrow, Forevermore. A lot of her more experimental numbers were on that album. Given how discombobulated he felt right now, this was exactly what he needed to hear. Again, Osawa reflected on how there'd been a time where he didn't care about music at all. He simply purchased copies of the most popular CD of the moment of his birthday present for his two girls, and that had just happened to be an album by Aya Kamiki. Hitomi was thrilled by the gift, but Maria hadn't seemed terribly fond of it. The next day, she tossed her copy back on her father's desk. Why was there a bracket there? Why was there a bracket there? Figuring that throwing it away would be a waste, Osawa had stuck the CD into his computer to give it a listen. He was immediately bombarded by an intense beat bolstered by bold, uplifting vocals. Aya Kamiki wrote her own lyrics, which did a fine job of conveying the emotions of a teenage girl. I'm guessing Aya Kamiki is probably a teenager then. Or no, she probably might be 21. Osawa could hardly believe it. After listening to just one track, he was very well and truly hooked. Before the day was out, he had purchased her entire discography. Well, he muttered. For tomorrow should have been in the CD rack, but there was no sign of it. Where the heck is it? Why isn't it here? For a moment he wondered if he was going crazy, and then he remembered. It was at the lab. He wanted something to listen to on break at work, so he brought the album there. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Not being able to listen to it made him want to hear it all the more. It wasn't like he could just go out and buy another copy right now either. He'd just have to borrow the copy he'd given to Hitomi all those years ago. Unable to contain his need to hear that music, he went into Hitomi's room. There he quickly rummaged through the CD rack beside his daughter's bed. Part of him felt like he was being a little sneak thief. According to the email Tanaka had shown him, someone was trying to kill Hitomi. Under the circumstances, he knew that what he was doing was ridiculous, and yet he still couldn't resist the impulse to find the CD. But his efforts were to no avail. There were no Ayakamiki CDs in the rack at all. Excuse me. Osawa pulled out every CD on the rack, but they were all classical music. He slumped back in disappointment. It had to be somewhere here in our room. What the heck? Osawa jumped at the sound of his cell and fumbled to get it out of his pocket. Makino's name was displayed on the LCD screen. I'm out front. This is all Makino said before hanging up. Hurriedly, Osawa began tidying up the CD rack. This is 1 o'clock. We're at the end of Osawa's story. As he worked through work, he thought about what he was going to say to Makino. To think that someone had violated corporate policy to such unethical ends. It sullied his research. Osawa wasn't about to let anyone get away with it. To be continued? Nope, never mind. We're still going. And yet, he was about to leave Hitomi's room. A sudden uncertainty gripped him. He hesitated. Did he have any right to condemn Makino for running trials in secret? His hand began to sweat as he gripped the doorknob. No, he didn't. How could he? His hands were dirty and all this too. We need to keep this a secret, just between us. It'll be fine. We've all cleared up. We've already cleared animal testing. The memories hovered. Osawa himself had already administered the antiviral to someone, hadn't he?
It was the only way.
Muttering to nobody in particular, Osawa trudged toward the front of his house. To be continued. We got to the good ending so far of Osawa. We actually got to the good ending of Osawa in one run. We didn't even get a bad ending. We only have gotten a bad ending for Kano. All right. So, what time is it right now? 8:27. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going with Achi until we get to a bad end or something, or if we do another jump. Achi watched over her with speculation through his mind. There was no way a mild-mannered young lady like her could be dating one of her father's co-workers, was there? Unless she was all about finding herself a sugar daddy. No, he was being ridiculous. Achi banished the thought from his mind. Besides, Hitomi's personal life wasn't the problem right now. The problem was that psycho with the cane and the gun. Oh, Supernova, how's it going? Is something wrong, Hitomi asked? She finished sending her email. Oh no, nothing. Nothing at all. Achi did his best to look nonchalant. It was a good thing she couldn't read his mind. So we'll keep going until we get a bad ending, to be continued, or keep out. I think we're probably going to get a bad end, if anything, but we'll see. The Exit Center guide resumed their approach toward Doginzaka by the way of Maruya Chimacho. There are many hotels in Maruya Macho. Those are not ordinary establishments, but rather the sort of hotel where two people who are so inclined might redacted. A couple heading to this kind of place in the early afternoon would without a doubt be assumed to be bent on redacted. You might be wondering whether an option for these two to get up to mischief will appear as a selection prompt. Well, don't get your hopes up, it isn't that kind of game. Nice, Supernova, nice. Another long detour to decrease their odds of running into the gunmen. They made an unlikely pair. Scruffy Achi, limbs lackadaisically swinging to hide his embarrassment, and brisk, purposeful Hitomi. Achi found himself watching her out of the corner of his eye. He could still feel her anxiety. He wished there was some way he could ease her fears. Hey, Hitomi, mind if I ask you something? Sure, go ahead. Okay, so like, I realize this might be kind of weird question, but you put on a serious face. What does the echo and eco-friendly mean? Huh? Like, I know it's all about helping the earth and all, but I don't know what it really means, you know? Itomi thought for a moment. I'm pretty sure it's short for English word ecology, which is the science of examining the relationship between man and nature. Ecology, a subset of biology that deals with the reciprocal relationship between organisms and their environment. Nowadays, the term could also refer to cultural and social effects in the global environment. The latter usage can be broad and imprecise, making the exact meaning somewhat difficult to define. Oh right, science! Pleased with himself, Achi chatted on excitedly. A faint smile crept back on Itomi's face. Say, you ever hear about the clean river here in Shibuya? A clean river? In Shibuya? Really? Ask 100 youngsters outside of Shibuya Station the same question, and you probably get that same answer 100 times. Yeah, the Shibuya River. You know, the drainage channel we saw earlier? Wait, that's the clean river you're talking about? By no reasonable definition was the Shibuya River what anyone would call clean. That's the one! Achi grinned at her confusion. See, the river used to be clean a long time ago. I read about it in this old book called Science Strikes Back. Science Strikes Back, a popular monthly magazine, abbreviated SSB, Super Smash Bros. The series has been running for 29 years now, but the Strike Back appendix is still immensely popular with children. The woman who handles the home deliveries is known as the SSB lady, and children wait excitedly on the 25th of each month for her to make her rounds. Is that supposed to talk about Smash Bros or something? I used to have that book, Itomi chirped, her eyes wide with excitement. You're talking about the bit with the river got turned into a song, right? The River That Got turned into a song. A famous 1912 song, Haru no Ogawa, The Spring Brook, with lyrics by Tatsuyuki Takano and music by Teiichi Okano. It is said that the song was inspired by the view of upper course of the Shibuya River during Takano's childhood. In the modern day, there is a stone monument bearing the song lyrics along the Yodaku line between Yoyogi Hachiman and Sangubashi. Interesting. Yeah, that's the one. You read it too? I did. Achi felt a giddy rush at this unexpected connection they shared. Imagine if there's still clean, beautiful river here in Shibuya. It'd be the perfect place for taking a romantic stroll. Itomi looked up at Achi. She seemed to share his joy in the idea. Would it be amazing, Achi said, if this dirty little channel could be clean like it used to be? It would. Maybe as amazing as the look on Itomi's face right now, Achi thought. Hey, tell me some more ecology stuff. Hit me with whatever you got. She seemed happy to oblige, and so, as they walked along, Itomi explained the bits of knowledge she picked up over the years. Achi was quiet, hanging on her every word. The return to Dogenzaka became an impromptu environmentalist lecture. Itomi continued until she exhausted her ready knowledge. I just don't get it, Achi grumbled when he shoved pause at last. I mean, why is it a bad thing if the planet gets warmer? Wouldn't that make winter in places like Hokkaido way easier? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say a word. No, you see, because if the whole planet gets warmer, it's caused the whole ecosystem to collapse. Achi racked his brain. And the ecosystem is what again? Is that like a solar system? Images of the cosmos filled his imagination. No, not really, Itomi said. So it's more like a sound system then. Not really. Oh, but anyway, you're saying the problem is with the, what was it again? Carbon dioxide? Yeah, that stuff. I'm gonna have to cut down on that. Sure. That settles it, Achi declared proudly. No more soda for me. Good job. Soda? Hitomi asked. Yeah, it's carbonated, right? Hitomi burst out laughing. What? I'm serious. You don't think I could do it? I'm sorry, Hitomi said, catching her breath. It's just... Her face froze, her mirth abruptly vanishing. Oh no. Huh? Achi stared at her face in alarm. What is it? The man with the cane? It's the man with the cane! It's totally the man with the cane. Yeah, there he is. He turned his attention in the direction Hitomi was looking. The man with the cane was bearing down on them. Where is this guy coming from? Why does he want to kill Hitomi so bad? Like, is there a reason for this? Oh, come on. You have got to be kidding me. I grabbed Hitomi's hand and ran. This time he headed for the main road, hoping to get lost in the crowd. Hitomi struggled to keep up. She was exhausted after all their earlier running. You can do it, he told her. Hey, what up, Midori? How's it going? The guy's got a cane. You can outrun him. The assassin was still hurrying after them. And once we get around the next corner, we'll be on to the main road. Yeah, okay. She strained to get the words out. Bit by bit, her feet were slowing down. It was another 50 meters or so to the main road. Achi realized that they might get caught before they got there. Sorry, Itomi exclaimed, but I gotta do this. He scooped her up in his arms. Beep! By the time the squeak had escaped her mouth, Achi was already running full out. Achi, please put me down. Don't worry, you're super light. Achi glared back and saw the assassin, now far behind, break off his pursuit. But just as they rounded the corner, he heard the man call out to him. What? Achi almost stopped on reflex. Hold on, did he just shout my name? How the heck does he know my name? Quaking with unease, Achi slipped into the crowd. Did he? What? How does he know his name? Who is this guy? Achi, can you please set me down now? A meek voice pulled him from his panic. Lagging badly. Is that on my end? Has the stream been lagging this entire time? Looks like I lost a few frames, but... A meek voice pulled him from his panic. Huh? Huh? Am I not your end? Okay. I was just worried. He looked down at the girl in his arms. People in the crowd all around them were watching and chuckling. I mean, I'm really happy you saved me and all, but being carried around like this is, He told me he was blushing beet red, but Achi's expression had gone pale. Achi, wait. Okay, cool. Had he really heard that right? That's what that sounded like. He said Hitomi back on her feet, then used his shirt sleeve to wipe the sweat from his face. You okay? Hitomi asked. When we were running just now, did that guy say anything? Not that I heard, no. Huh. Had he just imagined it then? Maybe Achi was sure he didn't. Maybe Achi was sure he didn't recognize the man. There's something weird about that guy, though, Hitomi murmured. She furrowed her brow. No matter where we run, he keeps catching up to us. It's almost like he knows where we're going. She was right. Finding a particular pair of people in a place as big as Shibuya bordered on the impossible, and yet somehow the assassin had tracked them down several times now. Yeah, Achi said. It's like he's got some way of locating us or something. He got a sudden idea. That's it! What if they're doing the whole tracking thing, but like backwards? What? Hitomi's eyes widened. Okay, so you know how in police shows they always stick a tracking device in the bag with the ransom money? Like that, but backwards. Okay, so backwards isn't the right way to describe this, but Achi doesn't realize that. He does seem to know what a tracking device is, at least. A radio transmitter that can be located by the signal it emits. The Japanese police sometimes refer to this as a beeper, not to be confused with an English slang term beeper, meaning a pager. Backwards? Yeah, like, instead of putting the tracker on the money, they put it on you. Hitomi frowned. I don't see I could possibly have a tracker on me, she said. I mean, I'm just wearing my clothes from home. Oh, huh? Well, then how is he doing it, then? Barely a moment passed from the moment he got the words out of his mouth. Once again, the man with the cane stepped out onto the road ahead of them. It really did seem as if he known exactly where they were going to be. Bye, Supernova. Have a wonderful night. Take it easy. Take it easy. Wait, what is this guy? How the hell is this happening? Achi groaned. He reached for Tomi's waist, ready to pick her up again. It's okay. I can run by myself. Achi took her by the hand instead, and they raced into another alley. This guy just will not give up. At the far end of the alley, you can see a forklift parked beside a pile of cardboard boxes. I know where they are. Achi decided to throw the boxes at the pursuer, hop into the forklift, and drive it at the assassin. We'll do this. This ends now. Achi leapt into the forklift and hit the ignition. The engine roared to life. Burning hammer. Hey guys. You guys know that drink? It's burning hammer. Oh, this is not gonna end well. He lowered the forks and stepped on the accelerator, picking up the pallet of cardboard boxes as he charged toward the man with the cane. Wait. Huh? How? I have to do something with Kano, it looks like. The tower boxes struck the man with a thud. Achi kept accelerating, driving him back a good 10 meters or so. The gunman let out a low grunt of the impact. Achi then hit the brake and shifted back in reverse and hit the gas again, backing up as fast as he could. The boxes crashed down in a heap, burying the assassin underneath. Several small bottles spilled from the broken cardboard and shattered on the pavement. Hey, what the hell are you doing? A middle-aged man in a sanitation uniform had come running over at the sound of the forklift. Sorry, man, gotta run! Achi exclaimed as he jumped from the vehicle. And don't forget to recycle that glass! He took Hitomi's hand and sprinted away down the alleyway. The sanitation worker glowed after him, and then turned and gazed despondently at the jumbled pile of boxes and broken glass. It's all good, Adore. It's all good. Their ragged breathing echoed through the maze of side streets. All that work just to wind up fleeing from their lives again. Achi ground his teeth in frustration. There are two main types of teeth grinding. The subconscious act of gritting one's teeth together while asleep. Gritting one's teeth together is a response to anger or frustration. Here we have an example of two. At roughly the same time, Minoru Minakawa was grinding his teeth while trying to keep it to his schedule. Can I do? Wait. I can jump back to Minorikawa again? What? I can jump back to Minorikawa? No, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going because we're almost out of time. Hitomi, he groaned while they slowed down to catch their breath at last. I'm so sorry. Hitomi was nonplussed. Sorry? Whatever for? I keep saying I'm going to help you, but instead I just keep putting you in danger. Achi, no. If you hadn't been with me, I'm sure I'd already be dead. No, Achi hurried to cut her off before she could finish. Don't go there, please. He sighed, then spoke again more quietly. I just want to help you. Clenching a fist, he looked up at the sky. A tiny sliver of blue was visible through the narrow gap between the buildings. Hitomi hung her head. Honestly, I can hardly believe how much you've done for me. I do appreciate it, but still, the lengths you've gone to. Ashi looked at his feet, then drew himself up. Well, I admit it's not just because of some gut instinct or your love for the environment, he said. There's another reason I'm doing this. There is? Ashi paused, searching for the right words. I've got a little sister. Her name's Suzune. She's cute and smart, kind of the exact opposite of me, you know? His voice took an uncharacteristic solemnity. But she's got a weak heart, so she's in the hospital. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But what does that have to do with wanting to help me? Back when Suzune was first admitted, I'd go and visit her every day. But she... Achi, you don't need to come visit me every day, you know. The quiet hospital room made Suzune's voice sound all the more frail. What are you talking about? Achi said. You know I'm worried about you. I'll be fine on my own, really. Achi had heard that line before. The more she insisted she was fine, though, the more reluctant he was to leave her. Besides, aren't you the amazing guy who helped hold Shibuya together? They need you out there. Achi didn't know how to respond to that. Much as it was flattering to think he played some important role, he was really just hanging out and goofing off with his pals. It certainly wasn't anything for his sister to be proud of. I'd rather you spend your energy helping people who need it more than me. What do you mean people who need the help more? Who could possibly need any help more right now more than you? Achi scratched his head in confusion, and his sister gave him a weak, tiny smile. We'll figure it out, she said. I'm sure they'll find you soon enough. But I'm gonna be here with you. I'll be fine. Suzune's face was pale, but her tone was firm. My big brother is going out there, doing his best to help people. That's what makes me happy. That's what keeps me going. Her voice was clear and unwavering, as if to head off his rebuttal. All right, Achi said with a reluctant sigh. So then, I guess, I'll just go out there and help people who are in trouble. Satisfied, Suzune smiled. Thank you. And can you promise me one more thing? Of course, anything you like. He thumped himself on the chest. If you're going to help someone, make sure you see it all the way through to the end, okay? Okay. No calling it quits partway through, yeah? You got it. I just worry, Suzune said. I know you have a tendency to lose interest in things. Look, don't sweat it. I swear I won't give up on this. Achi stuck out his pinky finger. But I want you to promise me something in return. Promise me you won't let this thing beat you. Suzune hooked her little finger around her brother's, her sad smile fragile as glass. It's so beautiful. And so there you have it, Achi said. Kind of a rubbish story, I know, not very funny. So your sister's heart condition, it's pretty bad. Achi nodded. You know, she called me amazing. There's nothing amazing about me. Suzune, she's the amazing one. She's been in the hospital so long, in so much pain, but she never complains. And all I do is hang out and goof off with my friends. He gave a shrug. But I just kept thinking about how happy she'd be if I really did help people. If it had turned out that finding people in need hadn't been all that simple. The only helpful thing Achi had been able to think of was going around picking up trash. And that's why Suzune's idiot brother left SOS to be Shibuya's garbage man. Did your friends know? Tomi asked. About your sister? I didn't tell them. I didn't want to pin this all on her being sick. Ah, I see. At least now Tomi understood what the fight with the local toughs had been about. The sound of approaching footsteps jerked them back into the present. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley and he raised his gun. What the fuck, man? Why are you here? This was a touching scene. I was getting teary-eyed even though I can't cry. I was feeling the sadness, I was feeling the emotion, and now you're here and you're just like, what up, bro? Like, God. There was no time to flee. Achi quickly stepped in front of Tomi. If you shoot us here, people are going to come running, he said. I'm guessing you don't want to get pegged for murder. The assassin didn't flinch.
Stay out of my way, Achi.
He does know Achi. He does know Achi. This time there was no doubt. The gunman had spoken Achi's name loud and clear. How do you know who I am? The man stared at him through the sights of his gun. She has to die, Achi. It's for your own good. What? What does he mean? Hitomi whispered. Achi, what is he talking about? Achi's mind was a whirl. Things were coming at him too fast for him to process. I don't know this guy, Hitomi. Please, you have to believe me. But... Hitomi took a doubtful step away from Achi. The assassin didn't miss his opening. He quickly aimed at her. Cut the crap, man! What do you mean killing her is for my own good? Once she's dead, you'll understand. The gunman's finger tightened on the trigger. To be continued? To be continued? Damn, this game's intense. This game is so fucking intense. And the only bad ending we got is that we got married! Literally, the only bad ending we got was that we got married. Congratulations, here's your honeymoon gift. You got married. How dare you get married? I know, right? Well, alright. With that... How dare you want happiness, true. Really, no one can go any further until we make some jumps. So for those who have been watching and everything and have been like kind of seeing the game, who's your guys' favorite character so far? I'm curious. Achi or Tama? Achi is pretty cool. Tama's cool. I mean, okay, so before we end off the stream, and like I said, we are gonna do one more stream today. We're gonna be playing Tetris 99. We're also not gonna raid anybody because I really should probably eat and get some stuff done. I just want to go through each character real quick and just talk about probably what we're gonna see next time. Just kind of like maybe theorizing a little bit. So it's all good, Adori. Hey, there's VODs for a reason. There's VODs. The VODs are really good. I recommend them. Not just because I'm streaming, but like this game is super, super good. I really love this game. This game is so good. Okay, so let's start with Tama here. So we saw between the 11 and 12, like when it was going from the 12 o'clock intermission, it shows like a few pictures of stuff that we're gonna see. It looks like Tama might get out of her costume this hour, which that will be pretty cool, but I don't know why. I don't know why Tama would get out of her outfit at this point. They do the only thing they do is they show that Tama is incredibly cute outside of the costume, but they don't show her face or anything. And that Tama is obsessed with a necklace, and that's the only reason why Tama's in the mascot costume. So we gotta figure that out. I think we're probably gonna be getting the Burning Hammer back, and we're gonna somehow get out of the costume, but I don't know how. When it comes to Osawa, I think Osawa... Well, right now in Osawa's timeline, yeah, we're at TB continued, but we do need to go back, and I believe we need to help out the people hiding. We probably get a bad ending for that or something. That's what I'm thinking, because we're going to be going back and getting the other bad endings. I believe there are 9 in this one. 9 or 10. So we should be trying our best to get all those. If we get all to be continued moving forward, then that's okay, because that means it's pretty easy just to jump between the ones. Osawa is pretty interesting as well, because his entire thing is he cares so deeply about his daughters, and he gets really obsessive about the virus. Which is interesting, because it goes to show that this virus is life-changing in a lot of different ways, killing-wise, and because it's what's propelling Osawa to his position. Kajiwara is weird AF, but I think Ai is the one who fleshed out his ticket, if I had to guess, or Tanaka found it. So we'll see there. Minorikawa, I like Minorikawa because he's straightforward and he wants to get everything done and he wants to save lives, but I don't think he realizes how many lives he's going to be saving, because he's essentially saving the other 4 characters' lives by doing what he does. But there's that beeping, and I don't know what that beeping is or how important that is. We're going to have to see how that goes, if I'm being completely honest. We really will have to see how that all plays out. I don't know what to expect from Minorikawa. I don't know if we're going to be typing all the way till 1 or what's going to happen. Kano, we really did get to play as a lot this time. All we did is we let the cafe... We had Minorikawa make a scene at the cafe, and Kano got married as a result, which is the weirdest sentence I think I'm going to be saying again after the Achi part. But anyway, I don't know what's going to happen to Kano this time. I really don't. Kano seems like he's going to have a super important role, but I don't know what's going to happen. And then finally we got Achi, who he's trying to save Hitomi, but the assassin knows who Achi is, has known who Achi is this entire time. And apparently Hitomi has to die for some reason. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. Hitomi has to die. And I don't know why. Now, something else that I'm trying to refrain from doing, but I don't... Okay, last thing before we end the stream. Do you guys see the colored letters? You got T, O, M, K, and A. If Easter eggs and hints in game have taught me anything, first letters in names, especially if they're color-coded, means that there could be something hidden within there. I can't figure out what the word is, though. I've been trying to piece them together, and I can't... My brain is not making a word from any of these. I thought Makot was one of them because it was close to mascot, which is Tama, but there's no S and there's no C. The closest one's K, and it has to be a 5-letter word. Tomic, Kamat, Komat, because it has to be consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant. That's the only way that I think this could work, because I don't believe that it could work any other way. I really don't know. Katom? It could be Katom. I don't know. That's interesting. Anyway, with that being said, we're gonna end the stream here. We will be back with Tetris 99 happening later tonight. Probably give me about an hour or so because there's a few things I want to get done. And then, yeah. Also, I did say yesterday that there was gonna be some, pretty sure just design choice. Just didn't see that's the thing. Usually it is a design choice and turns into something important, so I don't know. We'll see later. Something else, though, that I want to say is I'm going to try to get highlights out tomorrow. I just have not had time to edit, especially because today and yesterday and tomorrow, by an extent, is pretty busy for me. And I know tomorrow, if you give me a moment here, tomorrow is going to be Fire Emblem Three Houses. And I'm super excited to play Fire Emblem Three Houses. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to go to Minorikawa again. I'm excited for Fire Emblem Three Houses, but there's also a whole lot of stuff I have to do while playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and there's a lot of stuff I gotta do tonight. So we're gonna hope for the best in that respect. Justin, Supernova, and well, Moon to an extent, probably no, but yeah. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed 428 Shibuya Scramble. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, and or evening. My name is Katathi, and I'll see you guys next time for more Ready Gaming. See you guys later. Peace. Bye, everyone.